Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in positive territory this morning, coming off a bit of a muted session yesterday. Just getting June retail sales data out this morning. 0.6% to the upside, guys, which is a little bit to the downside overall compared to what we saw last month, going back to May. So that's June retail sales just out there, 0.6% increase. Which is a little bit of a decline month over month. Overall, the market coming off a decent performance yesterday, I should say. We had the U.S. 10-year Treasury in focus once again, back above 1.3% yesterday, trying to hold back above 1.3% today, indicating maybe somewhat of support area for bond yields. Let's talk a little bit about where we ended yesterday, because it was well off some of the lows that we saw early in the morning. We're going to discuss where the market is overall. Mark Roberts joining us again today, get his take to wrap things up for the week, which has been a bit of a muted week as we head into earnings reporting season. We're going to talk about Intel coming up here. Some rumors floating around about Intel possibly interested in global foundries. Moderna shares set to open at all-time highs this morning. They're being added to the S&P 500. And Lordstown Motors, more negativity surrounding Ride today. It's Friday, July 16th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at where things stand at this point. Not much of a reaction from that retail sales number, but positive, which is good to see, right across all three U.S. equity markets right now. 0.2% basically for all three. TSX futures here in Toronto ever so slightly to the downside at this point. More negativity at the bottom there. You can see both Bitcoin and Ethereum back in negative territory. I feel like that's 3 days in a row now for both to the downside. Good morning, guys. It's Friday. Made it through the week. It's the first week of second quarter earnings reports that have overall been kind of a non-event so far. I mean, there hasn't really been anything terribly exciting as far as movement or tradable actions anyways coming from these reports, but more to look at today. Alcoa, one of those. We had more from the financial sector, so more exciting names to get through next week, I guess, when it comes to earnings.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little more exciting. I think next week in terms of movement, the banks, it is what it is. They had good numbers, and disappointing, I guess, in terms of the price movement. Some of that was going to be anticipated. Another day, another DD headline. That stock. Well, that's bullet dodged for anyone that didn't get involved in that. So we're definitely going to be watching DD shares again today. Going to be under pressure. I already got NEO on a 44 break here to the upside. So we're looking to trade what's actually going to be moving in today. There's lots of volume across the board. The latest round of stimulus actually went out, and I think that could be a good thing for some of the consumer discretionary names. You guys know we've been looking at a little bit of Pepsi. I think it's going to be a good thing for Procter. We'll talk about that a little bit as well, and Walmart can possibly benefit. It's that the child benefit that's going out. So those checks got sent in the U.S., I think, starting today. Could be a bit of a catalyst, though this market, seems strong without it. I feel like it's delayed by 1 day, the green for Ms. V, because looking a little stronger. There was no recovery off yesterday's action, though, Sean.
No, yesterday, yesterday was bad, but it was okay still. Able to survive. A lot of the stocks remain pretty high today. I'm only in Zila right now. We'll see how high it can fly with option eligibility, I guess, kicking off today. So that should be exciting. We'll watch that. Look, it's going to be a good day. It is Friday. We're super excited about it. My least favorite day of the week, but hey, it's here. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Brendan, it should be a good one.
Yeah, going to be an interesting day as far as individual names to talk about. You mentioned Zila there, DI, more negativity as well to discuss as far as DD Holdings, but it should be interesting. Lots of opportunities coming up this morning. Before we get into those, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Hey guys, happy Friday to you all. I wish you a wonderful day and to finish this trading week in a positive territory. Please make sure you like this video and let's get it started, Brendan.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We've had, if you go rewind the clock a little bit back to the second half, I guess, of last year, we had a number of deals in the semiconductor group announced, none of which have concluded yet as far as acquisitions are concerned. The Wall Street Journal after market yesterday reporting that Intel in talks to buy Global Foundries Incorporated, private company. Deal could be worth as much as $30 billion, which would be Intel's largest ever.
Yeah, for them, this will be the kind of thing, it'll take a long time, first of all, for this to get done. If it's even going to be true, this was a spin-off, Global Foundries, of course, by, it used to be an AMD division, and they got spun off, and now Intel wants to pick it up. They're going the way of, we believe that we can make chips, and that's going to be the future, and they're beefing up manufacturing, definitely in the U.S. I think that's a 5-year play for them. I own Intel because of it. So it's a nice place to be in. I just don't think it's going to cause price movement in the short term for Intel. So it might be a tiny little bit of a nothing burger. And of course, because they're buying a private company, there's no flip side of this trade that we can look at for some price activity here. So I wish I could say to you, yeah, this is going to blow us through this 59 level or 58 level here, and going to cause an upward swing. I doubt that's going to be true because even if it does get completed, or even if it's true and then does get completed, you're talking next year before a deal like that gets done.
I mean, you even look at NVIDIA and things like that. I mean, the semis have been pulled back quite a bit from 840 just a couple days ago, beginning of the week actually, or late last week, down to 760 now in this little range here. So, I mean, I'd always buy NVIDIA or AMD ahead of Intel 10 times out of 10. So, I don't know. If you're going to look anywhere, I think NVIDIA right now, as it approaches back to 700, remember, you're going to get that buy the rumor, sell the news on the split, right? So maybe we need to get out of our NVIDIA there. It's a little high up. And then AMD just continues to have, oops, that's still the NVIDIA chart, but it's going to look similar. AMD continues to have that fail at the mid 90 level there. I can't show it to you. My chart again is not working, but AMD at the mid 90 level I think is a much better situation there. Look at that top mid 90s. It can't get out of its way, but again, on a dip back down here, I don't know. I guess I like NVIDIA a little bit better than AMD now that I look at this chart. I still think AMD can fall back into these 80s, unfortunately, if we have a little bit of a rough ride here for the semis. But if you look at Intel, Neil just talked about it there. The chart looks nice, but at the same time, it needs to break out through this 58. So, I mean, 68 down to 55, not great there, but it is making a pretty sweet base. So I think that if you're the safer out of all three of these, Intel, AMD, or NVIDIA, I would say Intel's a much safer play right now because you do have these levels. We can even ask, maybe we'll ask Mark about this. $54 downside, 58. So you're stuck in a $4 or $5 range here. I like it if it breaks out, and then we could probably travel back to 62 or 63. But for me, I would prefer NVIDIA over all three of these. But from a chart basis, I think Intel on a breakthrough 58 probably looks the best.
Only thing I would add to there, it actually makes sense if you're not just going to buy the ETF. Owning all three, well, not just because I do, but owning all three, I think makes a lot of sense. You get the growth out of NVIDIA no matter what. You get both sides of that ball with an AMD, and then Intel gives you the dividend, the lack of volatility, and then the long-term play with production. So, like, to me, it's like actually maybe, I don't want to say it's more efficient than owning an ETF, but I think it's a good way to be able to play that sector overall, which something people are usually thinking about at these times when they think markets are getting to highs, and it's like, what do you do? That's just my random thoughts there. I'm actually not in Zila, but I'm looking at, and the last time I did dip buys in this one, it was only okay when we're really picky about it. But I'm looking 360s right now because it's starting to drift down a little bit. Last time this happened, the first two were good, the third one stunk.
Let's talk quick, guys. Initial thoughts here on some travel names. We're seeing a little bit of strength in some of the cruise cruise operators this morning, all of which, take your pick, are up 1.5+%. CCL, NCLH among the most active at this point. A lot of analysts out this morning talking positively about the news that we mentioned late in the day yesterday. Canada reopening their ports to cruise ships starting earlier than expected, coming up at the end of this year. Overall, lifting sentiment around this group. But I mean, all of these daily charts kind of look similar. This has been quite the tumble for some of these cruise operators, but we are coming into significant areas of support for this group.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does Canada really? I mean, I don't know if Canada moves the needle at all on anything like this, but I'm more interested in the last part that you said there, Brendan, about these areas of support. Like, you could go back, and again, it's such a good day to have Mark on from Sun Lake Strategies, so we'll welcome Mark Roberts on very soon. But some of these cruise lines here, yeah, they're right into this area. I'm going to find out which one Mark likes maybe the best out of all these, because there's NCLH, there's RCL, there's CCL, and yeah, they're all just coming to the downside here. And we talked about this earlier. Like, we were playing this break, we were talking about shorting CCL. That's why this chart looked good to me. Kind of reminds me of the way NCLH looks right now. We shorted CCL right here, so if you still have that in your account, congratulations, it's 10+% in about a week there. That was a good trade. As you know what, I mean, we said it, sometimes I get slack for saying it, but hey, I mean, these variants, they're still around. I mean, besides the U.S. and North America and some of the first world countries, even in Europe, man, I mean, this virus is not going away. So regardless of what you think here politically, or if you believe in it scientifically or whatever, there's numbers out there that are supporting this. I think it was Spain the other day, it was almost 45,000 cases or something on the day. So, I mean, are people really, feeling more comfortable here about getting back into the saddle and starting to travel again? I have a few friends of mine that actually just texted me last night that are heading to Disneyland in the next couple months. So there are people back traveling right now. And I think it's safe to travel. I'm just mostly worried about, are we ahead of ourselves a little bit here? Will the bookings be back to where these prices sort of say they will be? And I don't know. So we'll find out. I'm not invested in any cruise lines, but I think it's maybe getting to the point where we need to be invested. But I still am worried about a 4th, 5th, 6th wave coming through. Apparently the fall is not going to be nice. So I would rather be out of these names than in them right now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks better to me at like the 18, 19 on CCL in particular. I'd rather like give you some consolidation before even trying to step into a name like that. For the day trade, look, CCL is always going to be an interesting day trade. So I think when you start to think of some of these dips, it's interesting. Like AMC had a bit of a chart like that. We had the flush out bottom, and then you're trying to recover through, and then maybe you're thinking about like a 2250 type of breakout style trade. Yeah, I mean, that kind of thing can set up, and that will always be there for us on the day trade. But I'm just maybe 10, 15% lower. I don't know, something like that would be more interesting for me. I've never owned any of the cruise lines before, and I'm not even a big airlines guy either. So it's a tough sell for me. But on the chart, yeah, if it gets 10%, it starts to get a little bit interesting.
As promised, President of Sun Lake Strategies, Mark Roberts, joining us on a Friday to get his take on where we stand after week number 1, Mark, of Q2 reports that, as we said, are kind of a ho-hum event, nothing terribly exciting coming from them. But let's get your take first on this retail sales number out there at 830. Definitely better than expected, but not much reaction yet.
Yeah, I think everything effectively is baked into this market. We've come through a seasonality that's taken us to the early part of July. If I'm going to look out for the next 4 or 5 months, all of those doom and gloomers that said avoid the techs, and I pruned early, but that was okay because I went into some solid staple and discretionary names. But I think the NASDAQ is going to be the leader over the next 3-4 months. And I think the Russell 2000, the small caps, will be the laggard. Somewhere in between will be the S&P. And if you look through all of that, people are shopping. But I think for now, we're still in a bipolar environment. Some are going out and doing what they normally did pre-pandemic. Others are still being a little bit more cautious with the recent headlines.
On that note, if we do see, the NASDAQ leading the way out throughout this summer, is there, 1 or 2 areas of that we should be looking specifically for some opportunity here? Because, a lot of those names are already, as, Sean was showing you a few there, as far as the chip makers are concerned, a lot of those charts very, very extended at this point. Where are you looking in the NASDAQ specifically?
NVIDIA is certainly a stock I would look at. I think it's the 20th or 21st. It splits. They seem to have their act together pretty well. AVGO is another. There are certain names in there that are quite impressive. You were talking about Intel. Intel is a safe bet, but I don't think you're going to see huge amounts of return in it. So I would tend to go for those that are a bit extended, especially if we get another pop.
From a general standpoint here, I want to get your thoughts on the remainder of the year because, yeah, we're into the second half of the year here. It has been a good year. I mean, the market up, 15+% right across the board to this point this year. Should we not be surprised at all if nothing terribly exciting does happen maybe for the next couple of months here?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I still look for what I had expected, a 3 to 5, 6% correction. Looks like they're going to be more 1 to 2% pullbacks. For whatever reason, headlines, a bad earnings in a group that had been very strong. But investors are strange. They seem to look at it as company specific in many cases and not the group. But you were talking about the cruise lines. I've been neutral at best, but I would start to look at NCLH if it should get down below that 23, 22 area.
Mr. Roberts, thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful Friday. We had a little mini tornado in a small city just north of us here in Toronto. I hope your weather is okay. 10 people injured, not a major deal there, but it was quite rainy. How's the weather down your side?
It was rainy here about a week or so ago. We had 2 hours of lightning, of which I decided to drive the other day. And I saw a tree that it would be the girth of maybe 5 men. So it's a very old tree.
Oh, no.
That's where the lightning must have hit. It was cracked in half.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's pretty violent weather. That's for sure these days. I want to talk about a name that's going to be near and dear to many of our viewers' hearts and many that are on Reddit and whatnot. And we're going to talk about AMC a little bit right now. It's just been a pretty big fall, not from graces. I mean, everyone sort of saw this kind of coming now. But we've got a nice little bounce there off $30. I know we don't talk about it too much with you because, again, it's not... it's more of a momentum type thing. We all know the story behind AMC. Are there any levels that you get interested in, or is this a stock that's sort of not in the wheelhouse of what you get your clients or you get money into here with AMC? Is there anything that you look at when we talk about this name?
Traditionally, I don't usually touch it, but the range 2436 stands out. So that dip down to 32 was right in the range. So if I were a swing trader or a day trader, I certainly would have tried to pick some up in there, giving myself, well, you have to give yourself a few points, but giving myself a reasonable stop and then playing it from that point. Now it looks like the stock's got room back to about 44.
That's what I was going to say. I really like this level right here. I've actually put it on my list here that we could try to go long through 38 here. A decent little level back to the 50-period moving average. Maybe we get that to go. We talked about my pick of the year was SMH. I think that's been doing pretty good. I know you're a fan of the ETFs we just talked about, NVIDIA, Intel, and AMD. I think those are good talks as well. Did you want to look back maybe at LUV Southwest? You talked about this when it was at $50. So I got to say, congratulations on that one. It wicked down to 50. I think you were probably filled a little bit before that, but you were talking about a nice little base here on Southwest, and it seems like that's exactly what's happening. We can go back all the way back to February to find a little bit of consolidation right there, and now we're getting it again in Southwest. But we've seen the cruise lines continue to fall. Do we think differently for airlines? Maybe what is the thesis here? I'm very nervous still about travel.
Yeah, I'm hesitant. All of the people I know have been on many airplanes. If they can drive, even if it's up to a 8 or 9 hour trip by car, many have still decided to do the road trip. But I filled myself on LUV, and I've half position in Alaska Air. I think those are the two favorites for me. And I think with Canada going to be opened and Mr. Biden looking to open EU, this will only help the domestics here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have another, yeah, so the domestics, we've loved that for a while, so I think that's a good play there. I don't mind Delta either, but we're going to hit the, there it is, a little delayed action there, as we'll hit the weed Batman symbol. Look, my favorite's been Canopy. We've talked about this a few times on the show. I know there's Tilray, there's Grow Generation brands. We've talked with you specifically, Mark, about SMG. Scott's Miracle Grow, I think, is a great name in this space if you wanted something a little more defensive that can go if we get some finalization on some of these bills. Are any of these names, you know, a spot for you right now? I mean, SMG is right at a beautiful level as far as I can see anyways, of this 160, 170. I know we're coming out of summertime and you know, maybe this gets a bump in the spring and just because it's a gardening product. I mean, this is what this is. So Scott's Miracle Grow here. What do you like anything in this space? Do we have to wait until some sort of legislation gets passed before we actually go in? I say all the time, it's better to buy up than buy down. You know, because if we're starting to catch falling swords here, then maybe we don't get it. I mean, you can see Tilray, CGC, better examples maybe of some of this stuff. I've always liked that. But are you starting to maybe pick in on some of these levels? I mean, look at the CGC. We're well below anything that we've even seen here recently. Is a negative the way to go here? Or what are we doing with some of these cannabis names?
So now what you have to do, because it's broken all the trend lines, it's heading back into a cluster around 17, 18.
Yeah, we got to go back.
But look at the volume in the last few days. I mean, that is starting to tell me that either the selling is getting close to being done or the buyers are just starting to come in. So now I start to monitor CGC,
right.
SMG, the same. These broke all of my rules on the way down with volume coming in and news not being strong enough to give them a bump. So for now, they're all neutral, but they're leaning toward the buy side.
Like, look at Tilray. Like, Tilray is right. Maybe Tilray is a better one. I mean, I like CGC because of acreage and because of their diversification. I guess Tilray does have some of that in their portfolio as well. But wow, 1350. Yeah, this is becoming really, really low. What name is there a trade here today for you? We had Alcoa with earnings. We had a few other names there yesterday. Nothing that really jumped out for us. But is there anything that's on watch maybe for today heading into the weekend, and we may see some bumps next week? Any names for you, Mark?
I'm looking at CVS, Charlie Victor Sam.
Correct, yeah.
Been strong. I'm looking at CTAS. That's been strong. They make the uniforms for workers going in and cleaning buildings.
Right, Cintas.
I'm trying to find stocks like that that have a bit of an edge.
So what is CVS's edge? Because, I mean, I do hear people talking about that name, but now, you know, maybe people visiting the pharmacies less because they don't have to go get their shots anymore. Like, I sort of thought that was an angle that made a lot of sense here when they started distributing. And again, we don't have CVS here in Canada, but I just think that was a lot of the rhetoric coming through for the pharmacies and whatnot, because, you know, more people traveling to them, maybe they're buying more product as they're in there getting poked and stuff. So what is the catalyst in your mind for CVS, or is it simply just a play on technicals?
No, it's neither of those.
Okay.
What it is, you go in, you get your prescriptions. Let's put COVID aside for the moment.
Okay.
You get your prescriptions for your daily medicines, and what they sell are cosmetics. And that's their high margin area. So now with women starting to wear less masks and wanting to be, whether it's beautification or feeling better about themselves or being with their local friends, makeup is now coming in strong. So you could look at e.l.f., you could look at Ulta, you could look at those stocks as well. But CVS also has a huge drug and beautification area within the units.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, similar to our Shoppers Drug Mart here in Canada that has quite a good area. And I just called up Estee Lauder as well because that's the first thing that comes. Ulta's a great name as well. I mean, that might be the best of the best. But there we go, Estee Lauder breaking through all-time highs, I guess, of 325 just 2 days ago. So there you go. That's a nice little base there. So, okay, so some good names there. I do like Cintas as well for that reason. You made a good argument there about people going back to work, cleaning of the uniforms and stuff. And I like that CVS angle. Thanks for clarifying. Mark Roberts from Sun Lake Strategies. Mark, have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the weather. Stay away from those crazy lightning strikes. You're too valuable to us. So we'll see you back on Monday.
Take care. Thank you.
Ciao. Thanks, Mark.
All right, guys, a few upgrades and downgrades for you today. A few notable ones anyways. Datadog to the upside today, stock that can give you opportunities from time to time. Yeah, Microsoft on here to the upside today. Morgan Stanley, McDonald's over here. FireEye to the downside. We'll talk about FibroGen on the list today. Momo and Joy, guys, to the downside.
Absolutely. Worth noting, I mean, the CVS, good call there. They pay 2.5 dividend. I think that's the difference between them and Ulta. Ulta's such a good name, and Mark brought Ulta up at a good value, and I think that's why we always want to have the stock father on here himself. Oh my goodness. So apologies for this wick. My Neo chart was okay. When I cleared that one up, I'll have to get rid of this wick again. It broke 44, and yeah, that looks more of a level than when the scaling is messed up. But I've covered some in front of this quarter mark. So this is on a mini bit of a breakout. I'll go to the 15. Maybe this will go, yeah, this looks a little bit better. Just go to the 15 minute. This is the afternoon, and yesterday the lower high got put in at 44. It broke that 44. We're talking in the chat about it. It's been a slow break. But let's see if it can't get back up towards yesterday's top. It rejected hard at 44.75, so I kind of feel like there could be like a 50 level or a 75 level where things slow down. But looks like it's a good start for this name in particular, but there's some others that are running close to some breakouts, so lots to cover here this morning.
I did want to, I think it was Nicole there in the chat made up a good point. I'll have to check out about this Walgreens. Where is it? You talked about Walgreens. Here it is, Nicole. Yeah, there it is. Hey, what's up, Nicole? Walgreens Boots Alliance here giving a special dividend in August. I'll have to find out about that. I do remember reading something about that. But yeah, this chart, I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about Walgreens versus CVS. Here in Canada, we have neither. But we have like the Rexalls. This is just for us Canadian people out here talking. Shoppers Drug Mart bought by Loblaws as well. PC President's Choice. But this, you know what? Like if they have a very similar, this is a big Dow component. This chart looks a lot better. Not better. It looks like a bigger opportunity to gain some more capital appreciation to the upside there if it does go, as opposed to CVS. CVS looking stronger than Walgreens, but you are at these levels, and if that theory is true, you know, maybe this is also a play, but more work needs to be done. Just another play here for you guys that maybe are in this. Thank you to Nicole for bringing that up. But Walgreens, also a very, very nice play. And then if there is some sort of a special dividend, that's probably already being considered here because, again, taking away from the cash position of the company if they're going to give a special dividend. So it's all the time. It's not necessarily a great thing when that does happen. I remember when Rocket Companies tried to do the same thing to spurn some shorts, and that didn't really work. Remember that $1 special cash dividend? That was good. That saved me a little bit because we're long that stock. So Walgreens, a good name. Thanks to Nicole for that one, and thanks to Mark for CVS.
All right, let's get into what's moving around in the pre-market, guys. If you need the morning notes, it's absolutely free to you. All you have to do is head to that link and sign up with Google, any email that you would like. And we send it out every single day to you before we come on at 8:30. So all the stocks moving around in the pre-market, a little bit on why. Let's talk about Moderna to kick things off here. mRNA set to open yet again. I think 3 days in a row here in all-time high territory, guys, for Moderna. Going to be added to the S&P 500. Big name going in.
Yeah, I mean, Alexion coming out. I forget who's buying them, but it's one of those deals where they're coming out, and Moderna's going in. On some volume spikes this week, they've been bought up. So, you know, a lot of times you will see an occasion where you get a big move up going into an addition, announcement at least, and then you get the gap up. And, you know, it's been so strong. This is more like a news-based play. Obviously, you know, they've done fantastically in terms of their play as the vaccine name that's going to give you that growth. But whenever there's a move like this, I always think, can you snap back, fade trade, something like this? Just simply because you have that move into it. It's been bought up going into an announcement. You get the massive gap up here. It's actually got pretty strong volume up here at the top, which I guess is the one strike I'd say against the fade trade. But it did try to break a pre-market high and then come back down. So if it cannot get through this 280, I'll call it 283 because it's like 282.65 at the top. If it tries to pop in, stalls out at the open, and you're looking for a reasonable risk to reward. So if you were able to get 80s to 81s and risk only a couple of bucks, I mean, even a small move down to pre-market lows, you're talking about $3 or $4 there, let alone getting down into that like 73, 74 range. So I'm on the lookout for that play in Moderna. It's been very successful when there's been specifically vaccine news, but given the run it had into this and the gap to the upside, it's just a specific day trade that I want to put on. The flip side of that is a lot of times it gives you an opportunity to buy the dip pretty well, which if I've made money on the short, a lot of times I kind of get myself away from that. That could be a good chance if it tries to do a 50% retracement of that gap.
Look, guys, I mean, we'll do this because back in the spring when I was asked, you know, do we like Pfizer? Where do we like J&J, anything like that? I mean, the only thing that I stamped as a buy was Moderna. So that's from 150. That's a double in about May, June, July. So 2 months, you got doubled up there on Moderna. That's, I mean, people asked, you can check the Twitter. You know, this was the one name that I was very, very bullish on. That's Moderna. I mean, you know, the technology's there. They solved this thing in less than 24 hours. So look at this level 190, like how clear a day was that one on the break. You got a little bit of a retest there, and now you're off to the races. It's going to be a sell the news thing as well once it actually happens into the S&P 500, but a big, big boost up here for Moderna. It's a no-fly zone for me, but what a great opportunity that was. As right now, guys, you're noticing, or I'm noticing anyways, that yes, sir, there's that bump down, man. We talked about that yesterday, that we'd probably have to see that 1700 area, maybe even the 1500 area coming for Ethereum. And now you're ripping just right now from 1860. I mean, look, it doesn't seem like it's a big move, but it is. You know, you got some momentum back to the upside now, breaking through this 1880 level. You did have a little bit of a, and if we're going to look at consolidation on stocks, I just got into AMC, by the way, through 38, so new position right there. But Ethereum starting to go back upside. We'll look at AMC quickly. Again, on the watch list today, AMC, where is it? It's right at the middle there. Let's look at 38 right there, 38 long. So now we're long into AMC, long here, 38. Let's see where this one goes for now. Why did we like that 38? It's kind of the top right there today. We talked about it strong into the close yesterday. So I like that kind of movement, bouncing off 35. And then some 38 levels. We had tops yesterday, 37.30, whatnot. So let's take that break of 38. We're now long AMC, we're long Zila, and we're long Palantir. And right now, although position pending, this is 8 cents in the money. That's a winner. This is a winner. I mean, and Zila is a winner. So we're 3 for 3 here in the pre-market, but that's all going to change real quick, guys.
All right, let's get a look at the overall market. Arun has joined us. We'll talk a little bit about here, Arun, where we are overall. I mean, we saw that kind of recovery yesterday, getting back into some pretty high levels once again here for the ES.
Yeah. Yesterday's activity was really interesting. You know, when you get to that area that we were looking at, around that 50 area, just sub 50, there was a massive, massive buyer sitting there willing to absorb a lot of the selling. Most of the morning, we kind of fell off. We got about 10, 15 points below that, and then we bounced right back up, and that guy stepped right back in and was willing to hold it. So now that we're above 60, again, yesterday when we were coming in, I said, it's a bracket. If we get below 50 and stay below 50, we have a chance. The buyer was somewhere not exactly as close as you would think, but it was somewhere between 45 and 50. And then obviously the 60 was the top end. Well, we got underneath all of that, came back above and took out the 60. So now we're above all of that activity. So now I'm looking at, well, we've got resistance or previous resistance, which is now support from 55 to 60. We've got that previous buyer that's sitting down there between 45 to 50. So a breakout in this direction would make me think that there's enough support, multiple levels of support, that a long is in play. So if I'm going to go for the long, I'm going to put 45 as a stop, or just underneath 45 as a stop. And I'm waiting to see this market come back below 60 one time. I just want to see how much strength we still have. We should have some. I just want to see how much. And as soon as I can get that answer, I'm going to go ahead and take that long with 45 as a stop. To the upside, though, and this is where it's crucial to get the prices that you would want. I'm going to try to get it as close to 60 as possible. To the upside, we've got resistance almost every 10 points up. So you're going to run into pockets of selling. The first one would be 70, and the next one you've got maybe around 80, 77 to 80. And then obviously the high would be 85. This is the ES futures, by the way. So I'm just waiting to see, like I said, I'm just waiting to see how much we can get in terms of support below 60. There should be a lot. Yeah, as soon as I get that answer, I'm going to go for the long. 45 is going to be the stop. And I'm going to wait for that specific price just because of the amount of activity that we have above us. I don't want to get too aggressive, put up too much risk for a trade that has limited, well, not limited potential, but at least it's got checkpoints almost every 10 points with resistance. So I'm going to be, watching my risk reward ratios at this point. So my trade, 60 long, 45 stop, and upside bias. That's what I've got for the day.
Yeah, market technically still in great shape. Thanks, Arun. Enjoy the weekend. We'll check back in again on Monday. Let's continue along here, guys. Intel Corporation on watch. We should probably have a look at the entire group here. Intel, not terribly exciting in the pre-market. It has given back its entire gain that was off of this news. The Wall Street Journal, of course, if you missed it, reporting that the company in talks to possibly acquire Global Foundries Incorporated. But this over here, more of the story, guys, bit of a chop fest for INTC.
Yeah, like we said, this is not going to, it's not going to move the stock. That's just the reality. So you can throw it out the window. In the long term, it's going to be an important play for them. I would be much more interested in watching like an NVIDIA if you're going to look for the day trade here today, guys. Oh my gosh, let me find it. My list is really, really big. NVIDIA, which has been, and Sean already talked a little bit about the sell-off. Pullback, we'll call it, because I mean, when you're up from like this 550, 600 area breakout, and then you get up past 800. I mean, sell-off. That's not really a sell-off. I think you're getting to an interesting pullback level on NVIDIA at least. You got a double bottom here at 7. What's happening?
Yeah, big win here, guys. Skokock ripping to the upside right now as we continue to go. Bang, $1 winner right there. So we're just, we're talking Intel. That's good. Here goes Skoko to the upside. There's a huge break. We just have that one on. Big time winner right there. Zila, we took out the dime piece right there. But SGOC, guys, go, go, go. Let's go with SGOC. Just want to give you that quick little update there because, hey, this one's mooning one more time for us. Wow, what is going? This is a big win here. Nice little move through 1230, guys, to the upside. I guess that's 1230, yeah. So we wanted a 12 break, but we get 1230 there. So talk about slippage upside right now. 1380, we just took out half of our, a little bit less than, half of our position there. We thought it was $1 move, but it's a 70-cent winner right there on SGOC. So, that's just wanted to bring it to people's attention, talking about it on the chat there. XELA, also apparently SSR right now.
Zila's short sell restricted?
Someone's saying that in the chat. I don't know. Oh, Zila SSR, and they probably used all of them now. So I don't know. We'll watch for that one. But sorry, Neil, what you keep going about Intel there. This was just all of a sudden popped in there.
I'd moved to NVIDIA because I don't think Intel is remotely interesting to talk about. I mean, you can talk about it long term, but I don't think that's going to be interesting to most people. NVIDIA is on a bit of a bounce. What I was trying to get the 750 level where it dipped out to yesterday. You're getting a bit of a bounce off this 55 technically, but 750, nice little round number for you. I think if it tries to sustain this move, it probably stalls out around 780 before this 785. But I'd be looking to the top of this cluster, and if you can maybe get a bit of a dip at the open and catch like a 58, 59, 60, something like that. That looks pretty solid for me on NVIDIA trying to make a comeback here. You see the market trying to bounce back from yesterday, and that was a pretty big drop in the overall space. Look, Intel didn't move off of that, and it's not going to move off the news. So go to what actually has the action, and that's going to be hopefully NVIDIA today down around that 760 level. AMC is exactly flat after that 38 breakout. But Zila, which I didn't think it was short sell restricted. I mean, how much did we drop yesterday? Yeah, I guess, you know what? It should be short sell restricted because it dropped over 10% yesterday's action. Yeah. So you're right. We're long in it today, so it's probably not going to matter too much. But this is Zila here, yesterday's action. 382, it's kind of a random number, but this was a previous top. I covered some shares around here on the long and the dip at VWAP there, and I think if it gets above $4, there could be a bit of a chop fest from 4 to 440, just because that was like a breakout, and I think a lot of people might have bought that dip or bought that break and then bought that consolidation. So there's likely to be some, for lack of a better term, bag holding in that range, which could slow up any kind of a move. Buying in front of it, I think, is the better play than necessarily paying up into the 4 to 420 range today if you're going for the long in Zila.
Let's go down to DD Global, guys. Lordstown Motors on the list there this morning as well. Had a big move up yesterday, but more negativity, federal investigation into Lordstown. So as long as it's above 8, it seems to be in pretty good shape, though. So heads up on Ride today, not a lot of volume. But let's talk DD Global here. Not 1, not 2, but 7 Chinese regulators looking into DD Global now, guys. So that was confirmed late yesterday in the overnight session. So DD back to the downside here today.
That reminds me of the famous Chinese joke. How many Chinese regulators does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Right?
7, apparently.
Oh my God, what am I doing? But hey, that's why I'm here, hopefully. But okay, it's on the sticky note. We just put that there on the chat, so we'll put that one more time. DD right here. Let's see more negative news. We'll short it through 1150. We'll see if that's the case. We've also tweeted out our current positions on here, as well as our new SCOCO trade. So that's happening right now. But yeah, look with DD here. You know, it's just been choppy. I don't really think there's been a trade too much. We traded it yesterday, long. Got out of our last long at the bottom as it came all the way down. So able to be about flat on DD yesterday. Nothing too spectacular on that front, but look, I don't know. I still like that 1150 break. We can take it back to a 20 period here. I'll bring it up for you. You can see this 1150 mark right inside here. We've just traveled a little bit back and forth through 1150. This is 1150. It was the bottom right there. It was kind of stuck in the middle. Then it created this little burst back up to 13. So there is some actionable events here around 1150. It was the bottom. Tops right in there, basically held this day in the pre-market, ripped up, then broke it, and then again bottoms here, then a breakout through to 1150 through to 13. So I'm looking for an 1150 short. If it can come in, it can come in, and we will take that through 1150. We can check the imbalance locator real quick here just to see if DD's on there. It was pretty big the last couple days. And yeah, today, I mean, for a Friday, it's very, very sad. There's actually not much happening right now. We only have one losing trade on right now, and that's AMC, and it's relatively small as we're going to wait for the market to open up on AMC. But SCOCO's 36 cents in the money. We've already talked about Zila. And we also have up here, guys, it's actually pretty fun. This is back in the day. These are my kids. They're so small here. I can't remember when this was. I don't know if she put it in here when this was, but this is when Neil and I used to sit beside each other. So if you want to watch some of this video, hear what we're talking about, Neil and I used to sit beside each other pre some sort of a pandemic. I don't know if there was one or not, but before then, that's people are talking about it. There's the link there. Check it out on Instagram if you want to see some more personal stuff there. But yeah. Let's go with DD today to the short side through 1150. I think it's a no-brainer.
All right, let's go right back to AMC, guys. Next on the list here, big bounce back day yesterday after 4 in a row to the downside. So AMC trying to make it 2 days in positive territory to wrap up the week, guys.
100%. Like, it's one thing worth noting, and just quickly on the daily chart, it's trying to creep back up. The volume, I should say, is trying to creep back up. And oh, you can't really see that too well. Give me a break, volume. Can't go full screen for you. There we go. I'm going to make it really extreme here. So volume's trying to creep back to the upside. Maybe this is going to be the impetus for it to move back up. If you can really see when this got going, it was always on much, much higher volume in AMC. So that's one indicator that I think could be a good sign. But really that setup, and I forget which, a couple of names we've talked about this sort of, you get a wipeout bottom, you get a hard floor, you get a higher low, and then a potential break. So it makes a break in yesterday's action, and then you're looking for a secondary break here. Now I have orders to already cover into, not yesterday, but on Wednesday's high, that 39.25 area, and then I think you can go from there. I think you can also probably play dips and then breaks on the trend all the way, hopefully, to getting back into those like mid 40s. I like the setup. It's the kind of thing where it could easily barcode or dip by, and then you get that break in next week's action. But track the volume. If it does less volume today than yesterday, that's not a good sign. I kind of feel like that means there's more selling to go. And if there's more selling to go on this somehow, you're probably, $25. If there's more selling and they don't do more volume the next couple of days, you could really be thinking about getting into those mid 20s.
I'm gonna hold this long until we get down to this area here, 36 and change. I'd rather it just break that to be wrong. So this is going to be a little bit of an aggressive position here. We are long. I mean, it's not aggressive now. It's an aggressive price, but the actual share size is not huge. I do want to buy into some dips here if it does happen into 37, and then I'll give up the ghost and we'll take a $2 loser. We took a $3 winner, No, $2.30 off here. Oh, we don't have it yesterday. We take this exact break yesterday all the way to the upside, so that was a big one. That's actually $4, $5 to the top. So we can withstand a $2 break to the downside here. So we're going to wait for AMC to get going here. We have a really popular video out, if you can find that on our site as well, that they've lawyered up a bit here with AMC, with Wes Chamberlain. Christian, coming through, famed from Overstock. We saw that rally in 2012 from $8 up to 35 in a couple months based on some naked short selling and whatnot. So we'll see if they can do anything with this name and the stock, but I'm a buyer down to 37. I'll get rid of them. Remember, we're day trading, so it has nothing to do with diamond hands or anything like that. I'm just not going to hold this past 36. I do want to try to go long on it. I still think I like the rhetoric that's being spit right now for AMC. It is down a lot on the daily chart. We talked about that with Mark Roberts. He's a buyer more down here. I've already called it down here, down to 25 at some point. So I think we get there. It's just a matter of, is there money to be made on the backside now of some of this good news? So we'll wait to see $45 maybe coming through soon. So I'm a buyer at 38. I'm already long, and I'm a buyer again at 40.
Let's go to Xela Technology. It was today that options trading set to kick off for XELA in New York. $4, guys, big level if you go to the daily chart, big kind of wall in the sand. It's been up here before, obviously. What do we think of XELA today?
Yeah, I just talked a little bit about that one there. I mean, it gives that little bit of a dip. The last time it was dip buys in this range on a push to the upside, I can tell you it was like picking at it as it fell to the downside. I had to scalp some out, but I think there's going to be some bag holders. We showed that 15-minute chart from 4 to 440 that could cause some chop. I'm going to take some out going into the open. If it pops off VWAP again, I'll take some out in front of that 4 and then not necessarily look to add on a 4 break. I'd rather be buying the dip. And then if it does continue to fall, I'm looking at yesterday in the afternoon. That's why I have the 1 minute up here. I'm using the afternoon top of that 350, kind of where I would want to be digging in on the dip buy for XELA. So that's a plan of action. Already got some out there when it bounced off VWAP the first time. We'll let it travel back to the downside before we add any more in here. And I love the fact that, I know it was a bit of a slip, Sean, but Wes Chamberlain, Philadelphia Phillies outfielder. There's no way that was actually the reason you said Wes Chamberlain. I'm sure it was just a slip of the tongue, but yeah, that's an old school guy. He was actually kind of decent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. It was slip of the tongue there. So yeah, well, we didn't mean to been calling out old school Philly players here, but look. So I mean, we're both in Xela. We take it off that VWAP. There was a very light position there when we first stepped in here today, thinking that we had a good chance of breaking $4 to the upside there, and now we'll wait to see if that does come through. I still think it does. A lot of momentum. Already 20 million, 18 million shares on the day. So lots of volume here in the pre-market. That's what we like to see. Even much more volume in the pre-market today than there even was yesterday. So let's wait to see where we go. It's only 9:16, so a little bit of runway here for some of these names. Just a quick look again. We do have the NASDAQ coming out at 9:28, so it's going to be a little while before we get there. But AMC on the buy side, we talked about that where we're stuck long right now. I don't really see too much else. Skills is always a nice name to watch, down to 15. And I know there's some traders talking about Fubo. I also think Ford at these levels probably worth picking up. Now that I see this name here, just to talk about a longer term trade, Ford comes all the way back in right to the 50-period moving average and bumping off this. We did put a sell on this when we got to 16. If you remember, we talked about how extended it was from the 50-period moving average. That hasn't happened often. The last time it did, it was up here 13, and we did get that retracement all the way back down to 11. So watching out for Ford back to VWAP. Back to the 50-period moving average. I don't mind this as a long as everything's starting to go now. Palantir, Xela, Skoko, and AMC back to 38, guys.
Let's talk Square next. Jack Dorsey coming out aftermarket yesterday saying they're going to create a Bitcoin-focused, open-sourced platform. Hit all the right keywords, I guess, in this announcement, guys, for Square. I mean, there's been a couple of these coming from Jack Dorsey over the past couple of months or so. This one looking pretty good, though, here in the pre-market.
Love Square. I mean, I love me some Square. It's on here again. There's only a few names on the list today, but I like this. Look, I wrote down new BTC talk, 240 long. Be patient, buy the dips. Some comments here today. PLTL are long. Yeah, we're already long that name. So it's on the sticky note. We just put that up. Look, I like Square today. We'll wait. I mean, I put down here, it's only 57,000 shares, so it's not huge. That's not bad for Square, but I did put in some bids downside here, like 235, 236. See if we do get a little bit of a flush down. But if you look at this 20-minute chart, for Square. You do have some tops here, 240, right here, there it was kind of the breaking spot there as we went up to 245, 248 there. We held 240, held 240, held 240 pretty good this day before dropping off at the afternoon. And then yesterday, there was some consolidation and some issues here at 240. So now that I look at it, maybe a little more aggressive, 240.75. If a little more conservative, I guess, if you want to take that top might be better. But I like a 240 break, but I actually like a bottom here somewhere around yesterday's open. So 236, 235 if we do get a pullback. NASDAQ bumping today though, guys.
Yeah, that looks like a really good bottom for a dip buy there. We got a super chat there, and it was Sun Hands Mrak asking about YVR. Yeah, so big move to the upside, and we covered that yesterday. There was some moves in related space. Anyways, gapping back into the downside here, and like I like this $2 support, especially when you get a consolidation break like this. This is my 15-minute chart, and yeah, okay, so you could have like a 230 break, you could have a $2 support level there for a day 2 type move. I know it's gapping down pretty hard. I actually have, I'm going to show you TKAT, where I actually have an order to take a breakout. Now this is, you get that wipeout bottom, you can double a consolidation, move up, and then you're going to get this trying to put in a higher low again. So I have an 815 or 810 breakout for TKAT. It's not exactly the same look as a YVR, but this is the one that I just kind of liked a little bit better. Just in terms of runway, like if it fails at that same price, like this 915 area, I mean, you're talking about a $1 move that TKAT could put in, and then you can stop out there about halfway. So the risk to reward I like on TKAT on that breakout play. That's why I've sort of chosen that one. So yeah, YVR worth looking at. I think that $2 level could be some nice support there because it is still a break off of consolidation, even though it's pulled back pretty hard overnight.
All right, let's talk about a few small caps. FiberGen, well, top end of the small cap spectrum, but FiberGen down big time here this morning, 36% after a special panel voted against the approval of their kidney disease treatment. So this is not an FDA panel decision, but it was a special panel of advisors for the FDA. But yeah, 36% here for FGen. Yeah,
I mean, look, they've been getting shellacked a few times, and you kind of see on the daily chart here, down another 36%. I look back to like wherever the support was before, this 18, it's like 18, 12, whatever you want to call it. I think it would be interesting if it tries to get back above that price. It's shown no signs of life, however. So I think that's, if it, to the extent that it might end up being a day trade, but down 36%, less than 1 million shares down on a $15 stock, well, a now $15 stock. I'm not digging into it. I'm not shorting the bottom here, but I would be interested if it comes up to that 18 level, a little bit later on, right after the open in the session, volume picks up and it tries to test that 18 quarter, something along those lines. Then I'm going to be watching that FiberGen. You have to have it on the radar because it has the potential for so much movement given the size of the gap down, and of course it'll be short sell restricted. Down 36% is going to do that to you.
FGen, yeah, interesting look on the chart as well. If you do break the lows here, I mean, this is, 2016 was the last time we were down here. I was trying to find something in regards to, something far off for support. Like there was 15, maybe 1460 to 1450, but this is a big range in the pre-market, as Neil was saying, like top end of 17. This is going to be tough to come up with something to do with that one today, I feel. There's a couple other ones, little ones here, bottom end of the list, guys. That IO, Neil, thoughts on IO?
Yeah, so they came up with earnings, and then this was a pure setup play for me. Like you get the gap up. You know what? I'll start with the daily chart because we should always do that. Always go to the higher time frame. I know I've already looked at it, so let's do it here. You've had several, I guess, bumps up that have been faded pretty heavily on IO. In the last couple, we're up into this like 230 area. So you start with that, and then you get the breakout. And then I pulled my 15-minute chart up here. You fail at that 225 area. You break $2. And that's what I was most interested in. Like when it broke that $2 range, and then tries to put a consolidation in lower. I then shorted a couple of times in front of that too, like 96, and then we're able to get 98 there. So I'm sitting in that trade right now. I was going to be averaging in if I could have got a pop. I still like the idea of doing that, but I've scalped it to this range before. Unless I get in again, I'm probably not taking any profit till we get to that 75 mark, and this is a $1.50 stock yesterday. I think that's going to be the ultimate target. So IO already have that one to the short side. but it would set up for that, hey, pop at 9:30, and then I can fade that trade around that $2 range. That's always going to be a setup that I will favor, even if I'm already in the stock or whether I'm looking to get into it. But IO has been a good one so far.
Look, Guy Parker here. I know there's some talk on the chat. No one will be wearing a bikini around here. And trust me, yeah, that would be entertainment. I'm not going to be rolling around here in a bikini, but we did do if you did want to see my midriff here, we did do a photo shoot before, and this is what I look like. So there you go. That was before. As you can see, that's exactly how I am, and so right there you can see. So that's a little bit of one, and maybe if we get 1 million subscribers or something like that, we will reshoot that. But for right now, this is all you're gonna get for that one. And if that's not entertaining enough, I apologize. But there we go. That's what we're gonna be getting there. Guy Parker and Sean Holcomb, thank you for the continued support in the chat and the love. That's why we do the show, man. I mean, I think this is gonna be really cool for us to move forward, and we will get to that 1 million subscribers. All thanks to you guys. Thanks for the support.
People are eating breakfast, Sean. It's early.
Coming up, I guess.
Yeah. Lizzie.
Oh,
guys,
Valeria likes it. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah.
Chinese stock to talk about here, guys, real quick. 760 is the actual level here. If you go to the daily chart, 760 up to $8. You can see multiple prior tests of that level that have failed. So this up here is 760. Right now it's showing a lot of nothing. Really hasn't shown its hand yet. We're just going sideways here above 6. So watch a test of 6 initially, and then if it does hold above 6, we could get that 760 at some point today. But that's the top end of the range over here for Lizzie. Otherwise, to the downside, 540, 550 is where this thing was yesterday, guys.
Lizzie. I don't know how interesting that one's going to be, but if it does test those upper levels, I think we're going to be looking at that stock for sure. Not much movement on the AMC front there, guys, but I also want to look. It's GameStop moved yesterday, and along with AMC, had a bit of a pullback. There was a nice rebound trade we were able to do on the afternoon show when it broke out that 165. I don't know if we get a chance at 165 today, but look at the cluster up here at this 175 range. If it breaks down, I think that 165 would potentially come into play. And then you quickly go over to not the daily chart, but the 15-minute chart here, and you can kind of see why this 175 is going to be of interest. Now, AMC is trying to take that 38 level, but we're still trying to break out through this lower high on GameStop here. So it's not to say that I want to. It has nothing to do with a hedge trade whatsoever. But and I like the AMC long in the breakout. Obviously, we both have it here. But if we get it at 9:30, fail break at 175, I will be looking to put something on a reversal in GameStop here, and then think about that 165 afternoon price for an ultimate sort of target. So let's see what happens here in GameStop. Yesterday was like the first time I traded it in I can't remember how long, but the activity was there, so that's why we stepped over to it. Don't want to ignore it today either.
I don't know what Portillo's hot dogs are, but apparently, Brendan, they're about to go public. Portillo's hot dogs to go public. So we'll fire off some hot dogs here. But I just did want to show you guys yesterday, Involtini di Melanzane. What a great meal this was. We were at the Bentway yesterday, and it's eggplant. So prosciutto wrapped with cheese, everything like that. Eggplant, like this is one of the best dishes I've had in a hell of a long time. So some true authentic Italian food there last night. Hence the bikini there, not going to be a great one. But that was actually not bad, although there's some cheese in there. I guess is not great, but the prosciutto, I guess that's not great either. And eggplant. So there you go. We're still looking at Square. I got 4 positions on, man. Esco here, still to go, up to 1360. We're long at 1220 there. A good break spot. You did see this consolidation yesterday right here, 1220. So we take that break to the high side there on SGCO. So that's a big one, man. This is like, look at this thing go, man. Now $1.10 now in the money for, look at this. Go! Let's go, man. We'll spin it early. This is one of the favorites that for you guys, so we'll spin it as SCOCO ripping to new highs right now. I mean, if you only need one trade, yesterday, this is the thing. I can't keep giving these huge winners, guys, because yesterday we had a couple traders on that DTSS that stopped watching and they went to the beach after one trade. If you have any of these with me today, then you may be beach bound as well as SGOC continues its move to the upside. This is $1.13, so $1.30 right now in a $12 name. So we're running up again, another 10% winner for you early and often. We had a couple yesterday, and here's just another one today. So we'll be watching out for this. I don't know. I mean, I may not let this go. We'll see how high we can go up. I mean, let's just do a little bit of work at least.
Guys, watch what happened in yesterday in SGOC.
Yeah, every day it
yesterday's chart.
fades off, doesn't it?
Yesterday's chart was like, this is easily, and I talked to Greg, our floor manager here, easily the worst thing I've ever done was yesterday's action, because I said, hardcore, I'm going to take a breakout on SGOC. If it gets back below the halt price, it is a short the rest of the day. You can rewind the tape. I said it. I didn't get the short. You can see what happened to it. If the same thing happens and it halts off the open, I'll be looking for that same play. So we'll see what happens. Look, I'm not saying it's going to halt off the open, but it had a monster move just like yesterday, and it halted at the open at the top, and it was a crazy, crazy fade. So take your profit if it's there.
Yeah, we're going to take it out. I mean, here's a 20-period chart. If we can get to 16, I think that's a decent spot for us, guys. Like take that 25%. I mean, this is already a monster. We're already huge here, guys. So if you're playing that percent game and you want to, get out now, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is a monster. We're long at 12.30, guys. This is almost $2 soon. Once it opens, it'll rip to 14.30 for sure off the open. So a nice little 20% win. Here it goes right now to the upside. So SCOCO, man, wow, what a big winner there. We'll watch AMC to open up as well, as that's still around that 38 mark where we're long. So we'll play a little dancing game here with AMC off the open. But wow, what a big day already with only 20 seconds to go. Portillo hot dog going public.
I'm assuming that's like a U.S. company. That's what we probably don't know. I mean, I don't think they exist in Canada. I'm just going to go
right here in Chicago.
Chicago? Okay.
Yeah, Chicago 1807 here, fad restaurant chain. So yeah, no surprise there. Good for them going public now. McDonald's at 52-week highs as well. Let's go to V quickly. 4 seconds.
3, 2, and 1. Ring it, ring it.
All right. Relatively uneventful there, but here we go. We are now open as the market's getting ready to rock and roll, guys. Let's go.
Absolutely. We're going to see AMC right back to that 38 level. I'm watching SGOC because I want to see if it's going to halt. AMC goes to 38.16, right back into 38. I got NEO, which is hanging above that 44 level. IO is going to be an easy one, guys. It seems like it's hanging to the downside. No average in for me here. And then Zila is popping down towards that 360, but all eyes on SGOC, which for a second there, it looked like it was about to halt into that 15 level on that last little break. I guess it could still happen. Watch out for like a 5-10 minute halt if it breaks 15 or 16 though.
Yeah, we're still in that, man. We're $2 in the money, man. Here we go. Like, what a ripper. I told you that this would most likely hit that 14.30. There it is. $2 winner for us on SGOC. Let's go. Party time, Garth and Wayne. Let's keep going to the upside now, as AMC is the only one that we're in trouble with here. As Zila ripping up, Palantir, we got a nice bid there at the 50 mark. So we're going to watch this as AMC now just stops right where Neil said, 38.16. So we do have some more bids lower side here. There we go. We just got picked up right now. So we just got picked up there at 37.40. So it looks like it wants to come into the downside. We are not going to hold. We are not going to hold this thing past 36. So if we dip down there, that's going to be our outs, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick myself. I mean, I just got some more shares in front of that 37 as well, but missed that turn on SGOC. But more importantly, while that was happening, I was able to sort of look at that NEO trade a little bit. There's that rollover on GameStop, but it never tested higher, and that's the problem. It never tested higher. I wanted to have that rollover trade, but you see it coming back into the downside now and getting pretty weak. So I missed that trade. If it goes back in, maybe to like 72, 73, I will fade GameStop. I wanted to be short this name. I said I tried the long in AMC, but I wanted to short in GameStop. Did miss it off the open.
Man, look, that 14 held there pretty good for SGOC. We did get up to 14.40. Like we said, remember we said 14.30 was probably a decent spot there. We didn't get out. We were willing to hold this one. Now it's coming back to the downside. So feels silly getting out now, but I mean, we could and just put the profit in our pocket. As SCOCO coming right back to the downside here, 12 break, and we'll probably be out of this one. Let's not try to make a home run out of a stock that's obviously not working right this second. There goes Palantir as well. Look at that pickup on Palantir there. If that's not a bottom pick, I don't know what is. Let's reward ourselves. What's up, Neil?
Yeah, I'm going to take that TKAT. I'll take a look at what YVR is doing, but when we had the question about YVR, I said TKAT was the break for me. I took that 8.10. I got 8.15 there. Was able to get some out immediately at 30 when it stalled, then at that 50 level. So wind it up. It's not a bad one. YVR, I mean, I don't know. I'll take a look at YVR because I'm kind of hoping. Okay, yeah, it didn't make the move there. I was kind of hoping for someone that maybe looked at the YVR break, that was a good long. But when we got the question, I said I wanted TKAT. AMC off of that pre-market low. I am not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Gimme, gimme, gimme. We will do. I'm supposed to hit the key when that happens. There's a dip. It's that pre-market bottom level. The entry on the break, I mean, that always stinks. On a Friday, should always wait for it to dip. I mean, it is what it is. I can tell you Zila is the only thing that looks kind of shady right now, but it's holding that 360 area. Everything else looking pretty good. NEO about 30 pennies in the money, but I'm hoping we get a higher low here on AMC 3750 or so, and then we can break out through that top. I already have orders in front of that 39 in case we spike. And GameStop, by the way, that didn't really recover. So on that spike, I thought maybe I'd be able to get a GameStop short. That's still at like 170.
Yeah, our AMC is definitely recovering here to the upside. Now we're back in the money here. What's up, Brendan?
Huge bounce on Moderna there, guys. Initial selling as expected. I mean, opening an all-time high territory. Came all the way down to 270. Just ripped $8 off that bounce there on Moderna.
Okay, so here we go. We're putting the money in our pocket again. We'll go with a bang for you guys here on Palantir today. A nice little upside move. We did pick that bottom. We did talk about it making that run to 22. I just thought it was overdone a little bit. The selling in Palantir, and especially when you get a nice little NASDAQ open today, we thought that maybe we could get a bounce back here at Palantir. So I think we'll hold a little bit more now for a longer trade for this Palantir, like, 89s, 80s, something like that. We'll take a little bit off again if we can get into the 68, 69 area. So that's going to be for Palantir. We'll watch that hopefully like a hawk and see what's happening there today, as it still could fade down. I mean, it's been negative talk here on Palantir. So if it does come back to the downside, we're going to watch out for this break here, 21.35. If we're wrong, that's where we'll know we're wrong here on PLTR, guys.
And it feels so similar on Zila as it did last time. It's trying to hold that 360 level. I got the dip buy. I don't take anything out when it spikes to 370 there. Moves to 370. And then once again, I'm going to be sitting here looking back towards the next cluster at like 340, doing a dip buy consolidation. And if that happens, I got to be more aggressive taking it out and maintaining that core position. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Monster volume on FiberGen as well. We mentioned that FGen, guys, did give you that move through the low there, pre-market low 15.5, all the way down to that 1440, 1420 area that we were talking about, guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we did miss that bid there on Square. Thanks for someone brought it out there. Yeah, Ken H. What's up, Ken H? We did miss that. Thank you for pointing that out. We did have some lower bids. We didn't take any breaking spots there, but wow, that 240, pretty cash money there. Now you're $1.50 in the money. Obviously, wish we had that one on board, as we do not, but that's a good name there. Square continues to make the push. We'll take a bid now if we can, here around 240.75, not around, that's where my bid is. So we'll see if we get filled there, but the NASDAQ making these highs, so Square obviously acting appropriately with that as well. So there we go, now we're into Square. We'll see if it can defend that 240 area. I don't want to dig in too much to this because we did want to play the momentum to the upside there, but again, to be wrong on this name, I think we got to get back and break here, 236.63. So we'll average into this position, guys.
Yeah, and of course, here it is, down to like 1230. There was almost no chance to get that I could see to get into that SGOC on the reverse side of the trade. It comes right back. This is what happened yesterday. I was trying to yell that warning out a little bit there because the break is fantastic. It was really good yesterday too, and then it had that hard reversal. I'm looking back to like 1280 to 13 even. I think that's got to be the level. But watch out because AMC, good thing we took some profit out. It's now looking relatively weak, and this is why I needed to have that GameStop short. It comes right all the way back into that pre-market low. It's trying to bounce here. If it gets back above 37 and can hold a bid for a little bit, I'm going to try and take more shares in and then scalp it to VWAP as a means to recover there somewhat. But it's starting to get very, very weak, and GameStop is now making some fresh lows as well. So you're getting some sell-off in both of these names here. Zila is somehow holding up that 360 level while all this is going on, though.
Yeah, I don't even know what Zila is doing right now. We take another bid
It's like
down there.
churning volume 58 to like 62. Like there's a lot of buying going on, but these sellers keep.
Yeah, here it comes. I mean, this NASDAQ guy's following it down. Watch. You're going to see 300 here. He's going to come to 59 in a second as well. See, there it is. See, just following this thing down. Now he's going to come to 58. So, I mean, there's a lot of sell pressure here on Zila right now. So we'll see if that takes out that 58. There it goes. So now I took it out. Just goes up a couple pennies. We just took an average price here. So my price now, 362. So we're right here. So we're flat on Zila right now on the day, but we got to wait for this to go, obviously. There is some selling pressure on XELA. We just saw that live for you. I'm going to put an offer around 70, man. If we could take 8 cents for a little bit of this, then we'll do it as Zila now. Some of that pressure relieved as that seller has gone bye-bye.
Yeah, I just got back above that 37. When it recovered, AMC that is, back above that 37, I said to get a little more shares in there and then see if we can't scalp some of it on the way back up. While that was happening, remember NEO? Yeah, NEO, flush, breakout, flush off the open, holds 43.50 while all this is going on. This is the afternoon, so this is the after post-market, I should say, and afternoon support. So when it bounces off that level, I'm going to take some shares in there. And the same thing as AMC. I want to be scalping it out there, and it's a Friday, so these dip buys should have been part of the plan. A little bit more aggressively. I can come over to, just to recover, just to let you guys know, IO just continues to go to the downside here. We're safely in the money, but it's 175. I said I would take some out. I'm going to get on that bid there and make sure I go ahead and bank that profit. But that's the one of no concern because it's just easy peasy. Is that Brendan?
Bottom of the list, guys, AEHR. This one, a test company for semiconductor makers, just popped up on volume here. Back to 350, back to these pre-market highs for AEHR.
I mean, we didn't even talk about this, man, but we did fire off some hot dogs right there. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster today for NEO as it gets to the high side and then comes all the way back down. And yeah, here we go, man. Like, we're not celebrating small wins here. Like, this is 60 up to 80. That's 30 cents there. We now will hold on for that bigger win. So we do celebrate some 40-cent wins, but we will hold out to see if we can get all the way back to the high side right now. NEO, man, just another banger for me. We've been hitting this one like crazy the last couple of days. So I don't know. Yeah, we don't like sometimes my chart shows my trades and sometimes they do not. Look at Softy there. Someone said Microsoft doing some sexy things right now. I guess that means going upside, but we did look at that. Thank you for those comments as well for the chat. As look at Softy, guys, bang, bang, bang. It's not all time. Actually, it is all-time highs right now. 283.60 was last all-time high. Microsoft banging it. All-time highs for Microsoft, one of my largest holdings. We did, well, pretty much is. We did average in now to Square, so we got a little bottom there at 240. Now we'll see our average price 240.43. So we're back to flat here on Square, and we're still battling around with AMC, not doing much.
Yeah, I'm going to be happy to have taken that profit. We'll drop the airplane in because when it does dip buys, I like that graphic. It makes a lot of sense to me. So I got out in front of view up, not everything, but I'm always going to take a bunch out in front of view up. I wish AMC had made that same kind of recovery to like 37.75 or something like that, but you're going to get it in NEO. I don't want this thing breaking too far down here because it's that support level at that 43.50. You want to see that try to hold. That wick is going to be a pain in the butt. I tried to clean it up, and it's right back there again. TKAT, which was a good break. We got close at top. It very, very briefly went to 885, almost impossible to get it. We bounced off this pre-market low. I'm only going to add if we can hold a lower high around that 798 even, guys. So TKAT, nice breakout trade. Now we can see if we can consolidate. And Zila, I guess it did have some support on Zila.
Yes, sir.
After all, right? Like there was that battle being waged, like the sellers in there. But I'm telling you, it was just back and forth, back and forth. I will take some off in that 75 range, and I still have an offer in front of $4. But Zila starting to get going after the battle. Looks like the Bulls might be winning that one.
Yeah, Zila was my largest position there. So yeah, we'll go. We talked about this in the pre-market. We took this about 6 months ago, or maybe a little bit longer. Okay, so Zila now to the upside. Good. Come on, now what's going on here? I guess Rob was messing around with these cables again. Okay, 375 there. Not this Rob, the other Rob. 375 to the upside right now coming through. We just took out some Zila right there, 71s. So my largest position got put on right here at 3. I mean, that's why that's the average price was 62. Like the average price was 62 when this was happening. So that's a 13-cent bomb right now. It doesn't look like that much, don't get me wrong, but hey, we'll take the profit when it lies there for us. What's up, Brad?
We were wondering about this Intel, whether it was going to do anything or not, but just clearing some pre-market highs here through 56.50, starting to move here for Intel, guys.
Really? Okay, interesting. I actually am on the offer right now. Come on, give me Zila if I can get it. But I did want to come back over to, if I can, that NIO trade because it's starting to fail there, and it just broke that 44.50. So I'm out of NIO. I'll be up on the stock because we took profit on the break and we took profit on the dip, but I've fought NEO before, and worse for me usually when it's X-Ping, but I fought NEO before. I'll walk away profitable after taking the profit out, but we took a breakdown here. I could not hold that 43.50, so we're all out of that one. Zila going to the upside, good. We got that fill. AMC trying to recover here, and as it does, I'm still looking to fade. I just got that VWAP that I was looking for a little bit. Now I want to see if we can get above VWAP to take some out in front of that 75 area. I still want that fade in GameStop. It just cannot seem to get high enough for me. But I can't complain too much, guys, because the bounce was good in AMC, so we're going to be happy about it. And I don't want to chase too far. If I think AMC has a good shot to go, I want to get a good price on GameStop if I'm going to be shorting this. But it does look relatively weak, at least for now. I know it's still up on the day, but every single pop is getting faded lower and lower. So lower highs getting put in on GameStop.
I mean, let's go, man. The cash cow is back in the building with Zila today. You know, buy out right there. Buy the bottoms and let's go, Zila. As we'll continue that march to the upside here. You know, it just resisted that $4. We're pretty light on it now. I mean, this is what we're trying to do. We've had monster winners this week, man. $6 on Softy, multiple dollars on different names. AMC yesterday, $3 winner. We'll see if we can do the same thing here today, but there we go, man. Zila up to 4. Yes, sir. Nice bid. That's 10% win there, right? So 360 up to $4, 40 cents on $3. So there you go, 10% return one more time for you on that one. Neo, we held it, so we didn't get out there. Now we'll hold Neo all the way. We'll see where we can go with this one. We're going to give it to basically this bottom, 43 and change. So we should have averaged in there, but we are very, very cautious of the NASDAQ. So right now, Neo continues to be a winner for us. These are some good outs there. That's why we took them. We took 2 outs. So that's 2/3 of the trade out right there. We're still holding a third to see if we can't hit that home run. But for right now, not much happening. Palantir's back below 50. We talked about giving it to about this level, 21.33. So we'll average in a little bit now to Palantir, but watch out for the NASDAQ. It's a Friday. Like, we could easily go green to red here. No problem. So we'll have to watch out for NASDAQ and try to find some better levels here to get more long into Palantir, guys.
Absolutely, and like I said, I would do. I take shares out in front of Zila at that $4 range. Someone asked about like where we think there could be some levels, and someone asked why I wasn't short Zila, and I said because 4 to 440 is where I thought the bag holders would potentially be today, where the selling would come in a bit heavier. Yeah, they just ticked to like 399. I got some up there at 95, and we're starting to consolidate lower. So that's the reason for it. As someone who likes to fade some of these plays, I just thought the fade would be better higher, so that makes sense to hold some of that to that range. If we can get a higher low here at 75, that's a fantastic sign. I want to be able to buy a dip down there if I can. But while we're celebrating those wins, let's remember AMC now again trying to get past VWAP here. I'm going to stick that order at that 37.75 area just to make sure it's there in case we get that move up as we're trying to spike to the upside. So AMC starting to go here. Had to be really patient on those dip buys because it did flush through 37. Wait till it tries to retake it and the buying starts to step in, which it seems like it's doing. And here comes GameStop as well. So you might see me tick into a GameStop short.
What's up, Beep?
Recent mover here, RCAT, guys, just popping up on a volume scanner. To the downside, though, it did break 550 up there at the top, but then just got slammed all the way back down through 5. So heads up on RCAT starting to move.
Okay, guys. Yeah, we're not. I mean, I know Neil taking some realized, positions, hits, wins on AMC. We're still holding it. So, I mean, we're going to wait to see if we can get going. My bid never got picked up. I mean, where was I even bidding down here? 36.55. So we almost got it. We were about a dime away from even having a much, much better price than what we have right now. But for right now, it's struggling to get going. We did talk about it. We're not going to dump it out until 36. So it'll be a big loser if it does go down to 36. But we're hoping to, at the same time, put a big winner on board as well. So we'll see if that can come through. Looks like right now, okay, there, we just did. I was going to say we just did get our last piece of Square. If it doesn't go, I mean, look at the NASDAQ, man. It's definitely failing. Square failing today big time. Our average price now on Square is $239, so we're only out $1, but we're not going to hold this too far past this 236.50 area that we talked about. So if Square, look at the NASDAQ, wow. So if this wants to fail, we're already long Palantir, we're long AMC, and now we're long Square. So these are not good names to be long if the NASDAQ does come down. So we will probably rearrange some of these positions very, very soon. What's up, V?
Hey Sean, Fubo TV is moving. Stock is up around 5%, guys. Any thoughts on Fubo?
Oh, Fubo TV. Oh.
Fubo. We can look at Fubo. I mean, I'm too stuck into other things right now.
Yeah,
but, we will look at Fubo in a minute. Down $27. Down to 27 right now. Up that 5 in a bit on a daily chart. Yeah, Fubo looks pretty good. If you're in this name, I'll look at it more in a minute, but 26 should be where you get out if you're long this name. I got to focus on Square and stuff. I have way too many, well, not way too many shares, but it's a big position.
Yeah, I can look at Fubo here. And look, it's whippy action. It failed. We looked at this yesterday, and it failed hardcore at like $28 on a bit of a failed breakout style play. So as it comes back into that range, I mean, you got to be thinking, well, I would be thinking fade into that 28. Your breakout's probably not till it gets to that like quarter or 50 mark for sure. And if it does not get, look, if it breaks 26, you're probably retesting that 25 area. So it's not overly bullish because it's whipsaw action. It's up 5% because it got that nice little move. But it's crazy whipsaw action up and down here. AMC just got back down towards that low. I want to see if I can reload that one. And why did I not get GameStop? You got to be kidding me. I think, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I just missed GameStop. I'm going to cancel my order. I just missed GameStop. I was actually sitting at the bottom end of this pre-market range, and it just got to like 172 even, and I was probably like 30 cents away. So no good. I missed that GameStop short. It's now back at 170. So, I mean, the fade is what it is. You can make all the calls you want. It doesn't make a difference. If you don't get the execution, you don't get the execution. So that one kind of stinks. And of course, I just missed AMC coming up to that 37.75. Now we're retesting that bottom. If we put on a higher low, I'll try to get in again as we retest that 37 area to get that long and sort of massage that trade to the long side. TKAT, this one continues to fall to the downside. So the breakout good. I'm still hanging on. We're holding this pre-market level. I'm looking for a consolidation level, see if I can't play into. There has not been one just yet. Whippy action. The spread keeps opening up. So until it settles down, I only hold a third of it left, and I do not want to be adding to it until it settles down some, guys. So TKT, not much to do with it. And Zila, it's looking like it's pulling back here. So I think we're going to get a chance to maybe get that dip. It hasn't consolidated yet, but we said around 375 or so where we're getting out. On that first little leg. If we can bounce there, I'm going to add to the Zila position. The trend still looks good. It's that 440 level that would concern me more. Has to get through 4 first.
Okay, so Palantir, yeah, good talk there. Zila 4 did get through there. We're long 4. We're going to wait to see. We just took some Palantir out. Look where we reloaded. I mean, this is exactly the spot that we talked about on the reload. So we'll see what happens here now for Palantir. I'm looking for that reloaded button there. Where is it? There it is there. We've already done. I'm not going to ask you what movie this is from. That's old. We'll always do that. But we'll do it again so you guys can hear it. Okay, I'm reloaded. All right, there it is. So we're reloaded on Palantir, giving us a much better average price. We're now taking winners on it. So good trade there on Palantir. As you can tell, like this was a big reload. Like, you know, when we put on shares, that's why we get the better average price. Let's see if the NASDAQ can't rally a little bit here. Square and AMC, really the problem childs right now for me. But we've had bigger problems than that. And Brendan doesn't have any problems. What's up, bud?
TD Holdings, which is GLG, guys, making moves here today. Just got above $1. I'll show you the headline here. So they bought a couple of Chinese companies here to enter into, where is it? The new energy vehicle industry for this GLG, up 51%, guys.
Wowzers, that's another one to add to the list. Like I see there is a halt trade on TCBS, but a lot to get to. Look, of course, SGC's consolidating a little bit here. If it pops in, I think I said this already, but if I didn't, if it pops up to VWAP, I do want to short any kind of a pop that it has. But AMC has been an absolute, it's a train wreck. It's at like 36.50. It's a frustrating trade. There was an opportunity to get a good winner on it, and the way I wanted to play this was to get that GameStop short. I'm now going to try to short this GameStop in front of VWAP here. If I can catch it around 170.50, I want to be on the other end of this trade. Somehow, I just felt like I didn't want to chase it, and chasing it would have been pretty good because every time I wanted it, if I just paid down like 30 or 40 cents, it would have been a good decision. Have to get more aggressive with GameStop, trying to get short.
Yeah, maybe I should look over at GameStop as well, as AMC just not really, you know, participating in anything that we like right now. That's for sure. Okay, so here we go. Maybe a possible time here to reload a little bit on our favorite Chinese name, NIO, to the upside. I mean, my favorite's Alibaba, but for as far as the trade is concerned, NIO just touches those very bottoms there again at 43. So I don't know. It's just, I'm already long. Like, I'm already long AMC here, and that has nothing to do with NASDAQ. If this breaks through 36, we'll be out of that one. And then Square right now as well, long at 239, and it's touching bottoms here. So, you know, again, into this teeth of the NASDAQ here, some of these big NASDAQ names that are tech-related, obviously, like a Square, is going to get hammered here. So we will have to get out if it does break. Where's my stop, just to make sure you guys know? 236.50, so we're very, very close to punching out of this one. Again, like, if this NASDAQ ever turns red, then Square is dead, red dead. So we don't need to hold on to this one too much because, again, you know, this is how you maintain your accounts, guys. Like, you got to make the right trades and get out of the way when they're not. And so we're going to hold this. We're just going to make sure that we are wrong down here. Not even yesterday's close, just this level here. We didn't hold there. We didn't hold there. So if we break back down below, that's going to be a trigger for me. Palantir now, and this is what we're talking about, man. Hit the cowbells for Palantir up to 21.50. Like, this is a 12-cent win on, again, we have tons of shares compared to everything else, but it doesn't matter. We're still losing on that Square. That's the one I really want to go. Was there a Brendan call there?
I didn't hear, but
Okay.
I want to thank YA for the super chat there. Yeah, I mean, we talk about setups, and it's like, oh my goodness, Virgin. Yeah, of course I should have had this one. Virgin wasn't on my list today because it just hadn't moved as much in the pre-market, but you're right. Like, that setup, you get that flush, 930, you get the push, you retest that level, and it comes to the downside. it's actually a little bit crazy to me that it keeps on doing this setup over and over. At some point, you would think it would stop actually giving you that winning trade. It's nuts that you can see the same pattern over and over again, but yet here we are, and you're seeing exactly that. Another one that I wanted to get to, just only because it was a good trade in yesterday's action, Moxie. Light-ish volume in the morning, come on, load up, but absolutely flushing. Now, the reason I think it's important that it flushed, when this moved to the upside of yesterday's action, there was a monster seller. Now my trade show up. Anyways, it was failed at 30. There was a big seller at 29, easy short in front of it. There was a big seller moving down to 28, easy short in front of it at the close. Now, of course, had to get out by 4 o'clock, so can't participate in anything else. Can't hold overnight.
Bang.
And now you get a flush in front of that 28. So Moxie has had some serious sellers at the even dollars. Worth a watch. If you see one today, I'm going to jump in front of it. Was that Brendan?
Not terribly exciting yet, but State Street Corporation, guys, was an earnings name back to the banking sector here, just making a day high, breaking 84 there on decent volume for STT.
So we'll hit the siren again because we did take that NEO trade. I mean, that's why we went over there and talked about it with you guys. So we do take that out there, or back in, I guess, 43.28. There it is. We take a nice little 15-cent win. Like, this happens in 1 minute, so we got to take a little bit out there to put NEO back again. Positive stock for us today, so we're happy with NEO as now it's starting to go. Make sure I don't have any offers out. No, I don't. So I have only bids downside again. So maybe if NEO can get back into here, man, 43.65 or so, decent spot to get it out. But right now it's a 23-cent winner for Palantir. It's a 20-cent winner for NEO. There's Palantir. Holy crap. Where did that come from, guys? It's chicken dinner wintertime here for Palantir. Let's get another piece out. There it is. Wow. Okay. So this is why my day is all of a sudden not so bad after all, as we get to watch out for some of these trades. Palantir to the upside. Let's go. We just took out some Square. Yeah, if this goes, man, it's going to be a monster SQ.
And just got back into that. Finally, TKT, it bounces off the pre-market low, so I allow it to test it. Once it tests and bounces above, then I get more shares in. So we just got 75s in. Take the average price to 83. I will always take profit in front of VWAP when it gives you the opportunity. And for the first time, I have gotten some shares of that GameStop. So as AMC tries to bounce, GameStop is on the New York, Neil, not NF. I always make that same typo, but just got some GameStop in front of VWAP here. It's a decent chance. Look, you could easily see AMC blow to the high and then the short loses on GameStop, but I wanted to be short despite the fact that I wanted some long ideas there in AMC. I'll continue to buy the bounces. Last one off 36 on AMC. I have a 75 average price. I will take some out scalping in front of set 37, but I want this sort of trade to the south side, and I just got it finally at 170.50 on GameStop, and I will be taking some out in front of the low of the day. I want to see if I can't play the trend, a potential trend, because that 175 was a big level. Couldn't get there. Had some trouble yesterday, and 165, I think there could be a bit of a bid. That was a good level for me in the afternoon show in yesterday's action.
Guys, Emily there, or Emily there, good. She said, good, congratulations. I want to give you a congratulations too, because if you hit the Palantir trade with me, that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter that I'm putting them on. I just want you guys to put on some of these trades with me if you like the setups and stuff like that. That's what Neil and I are trying to do here, is educate a little bit here and let you guys know like why we're taking these trades, what we're up to, and then hopefully share in some winning trades with you today. So where's my out on Zila there? Are you holding shares on MaxR? No, I'm not, but I will look at MAXR at some point here. So we did have that 4 in. That was in there from the pre-market, so it's not a huge trade that we went, but now it does show us long at $4 on Zila. We did have that in the pre-market and forgot to cancel it when we got all these longs, so that's why that got executed up there on the upside, but we still are in this. Where's my out? It's going to be pretty simple, man. 350. You break through 350, and we're going to be gone on this name. It's not, we've already made money on this, so it's fine. I mean, this was the big, I told you, this was the largest position. This is just what's happening now because it's the shares that we have left on board. So this is not a big position, but again, it's a bad one, so it's going to the downside. Averaging again, if we can get into this 365 area, which it looks like we will, we'll put on that trade and then we'll dump it off if it breaks through 350. So just an update on where we are on that one. It does look like we will probably get taken out here on Square. So I'm really quite happy actually that we were able to get some out there when it came all the way back for us. And we're like, oh my God, we don't need this thing thing to snap on us, but it didn't move like Palantir. It moved a little bit. It went from 237 up to 238.50, so that was $1.50 back. You can see what our average price is, 238.70, so we could have got out for flat, but we're trying to make this one a winner, and it doesn't look like it as the NASDAQ's trying to push lower. That's why we emptied out, guys, out of this trade here. When you get up to these levels, man, we break through VWAP there, out. That's why that's purple. It was a bigger out there, 21.58. It's because I had a small offer upside. Then when we got out, it thinks it's a short sell. But let's wait to see if it goes now. We only got 15% of our Palantir left, guys.
Yeah, that's right. We actually we declare all of our shorts. That's why every single sell is coded purple or red, because there's a distinction every single time. That's following the rules. That's because what we do around here, day trade the world. Look, if AMC, which stinks, is going to be testing at 36 again, I'll give it some room below that, but I'm going to be covering that trade. I finally got the short. We took a quick dollar because, we bounced a couple of times in GameStop off 168.50, so I wanted to make sure I bagged some profit. But if it breaks that low, I'm looking 165, so I'll probably take a 166 or something like that out if we break the low here. That'll probably mean bad things for the AMC trade, but at least I was able to get into that GameStop. It is what it is. It's kind of an annoying term, but it is what it is. I should have had that GameStop trade short a little bit earlier than I did. Unfortunately, that was not the case. This IO, I still want to get some shares out in front of 150. This is the pre-market trade that we had on. Sometimes get into them and they can get that extra push to the upside to get you some shares. It never happened, never popped. It's only coming down, which is good if you're short. Not good if you wanted to get some more in. 150, my ultimate target. But I'm doing this because I'm now out of AMC, so all I got is that short in GameStop. My negative stock today will be AMC. Could not make that one work to the long side. But the two shorts, IO, GME working. For now, Zila looking good on the rebuy, although it's flat. And then TKAT testing those lows, as that initially was a good breakout trade, but going to give some of that back for sure if it breaks that low. Was that Brendan? Happening now.
It is 10 o'clock. Let's get a look at how things stand at this point, guys. Pretty positive day so far. Right across the board, not huge moves, but good to see everything in positive territory. The NASDAQ here, first off, 0.17, 0.19 for the composite, the 100. The S&P and the Dow, about the same to wrap up the week. Small caps here. Mark was talking about small caps lagging over the next couple of months. Not the case today. 0.7 to the upside for small caps. Here in Toronto, we are red, but only just for the TSX, about 0.09. Couple of things we were talking about in the pre-market. Moderna is just a monster today. 274, 275 held. We're up to 285. All-time highs, day highs as we speak. Huge mover today, guys, for Moderna, up 10%. Being added to the S&P 500. DD Global trying here as well. We just are on our way back to positive territory here around that area where it ended the day yesterday, but still decent volume, guys, on DD as well. Back over to you.
Oh, that's what I never got to. I know Sean talked about DD. I don't think I piped in. But good level that we're at, because this is yesterday's close, and that's essentially where I wanted to fade it up into about like a 1250 area. There's not much on the daily chart to look at because DD has not been around very long. So negative news, but they're able to catch another bid. It's that hard double top that kind of makes me want to be on the short side of any pop, and it was a hard double top for 2 days in a row at 1330. So I put in that previous close and think this is where I want to start selling it. I'll see if I can pick some shares up, and we'll see if we can get some in that like 30 to 50 range on DD. GameStop now only $1 in the money. I might rinse and repeat. I might reload that trade if I get anything close to that 170.50 area.
Oh, man, like that sucks because right back there. We took it out at 36 and then comes right back in. So we take another long here through 36.50 right now. So we'll see where this goes. 36.58, 36.57 there to the upside. So we do have more shares now on this name. So we'll see now. If it does take out the bottom one more time, then I don't want to get out again at that level. I thought I was I guess I was waiting. Yeah, I got 36, I guess, is where I was waiting. I thought I was trying to get out at 36.50 the first time, but I guess I put that 36 order in there. So no worries on it. We are back long now through 36.50, so maybe that was the blow bottom there, at 36.60. It's tough to look at this because it's just been straight to the downside there today. So right now, AMC straight to the downside, still making those moves. So very, very hard to try to find some spots here to pick. But if we look at yesterday's chart, that's too low. 34.25, can't wait for that. 34.75 VWAP yesterday. What are these levels here? 35.60, Yeah, 35.40. Who knows? But right now, AMC trying to get back going there. A negative move today, but we still are up that 1.25%. So let's see if we can't basically go a little bit back here. If we can go back to VWAP, we'll be pretty happy with this trade. But let's see where we go from here. As Palantir still 17 cents in the money. We did get knocked out of Square, guys, there as well. 236.50 as that goes all the way down to 235.80. And now that's bouncing back. So a couple bad outs there, but we're still alive, guys. Let's just keep this dream going as Palantir still working for us, and of course AMC. We still got to, we still got to ride on this. So let's see if we go back to the upside here with AMC. Just touched 75 there, so maybe we'll take a little bit of profit. 25 cents, not bad. We'll see if it goes to the upside here, AMC. And
I see that GLG making that big move to the upside. This is a daily chart there, so you can kind of see spiking into potentially this level, like a 145, 150. It stalled at 139 even, and then kind of came right back in. The 15-minute is not going to be very interesting. I like to look for dip levels if they're obvious, but nothing there until you look at your 1-minute chart. You can kind of pick out like 120, maybe the top end of this range. But I'm looking fade off 150. So if it makes another push to the upside, it's not any hurry to halt or anything like that. But that 150 could be like an obvious level on the daily chart, but also that round number, which I'm going to like. So if it gets up there, I'm hunting for it. DD, I just got in. So we actually had to pay for shorts on DD. I mean, it makes sense. Recent IPO. Getting close to that 1250 area. It's at about like 1235 as the top right now. I got the first shares in front of 30, so picks them up at 27. I'd probably add at least a couple more times. Willing to take at least three times more in. I wanted to short only that top because, I didn't like any of the levels currently. I mean, didn't do that rollover trade that we would have liked at 930. There was no breakdown, which is another way you can play it. If it had broken 1150, I think that would have made sense. That's what Sean, I think, was looking for. And SGOC is the one that got away. Where are you? Let's go. SGOC, I'm sitting here wanting to short any pop. It doesn't even have the pops in it at this point. So all the way back into that 11 even. Maybe it actually bounces off of the pre-market low, and then there'll be an actionable trade off of that level. But for now, we will have missed the boat on that retracement like 2 days in a row. I hope somebody got it. GameStop looking pretty solid, except for the fact that I didn't get back in. It's right at that low of the day. I'm holding for that 165. I said if it rolled over from 175, the target would eventually be in front of 165. So I didn't get anything till 170.50 when it tested VWAP here. Scalps them out. I want to try and rinse and repeat. Hasn't given me the shot to do it yet. At least that's sort of giving you something back, or giving me something back for AMC being a bit of a frustrating one.
Yeah, AMC frustrating today for sure. We're still in that long, so I still got some skin in the game here with AMC. So let's see. But look, I mean, it's holding this 36.50 area. So this may not be the trade that I want it to be. So I don't know. I thought it should have gone there on that retracement back up, and it didn't. So I have to maybe talk myself out of this one, and it doesn't look great here for us trading AMC today. Like Neil said, it's a loser, but we're going to have those every once in a while, and happy to have it on AMC. But I'd rather it be another name, because I really did think AMC did have an opportunity there to bounce today, especially off of some of that good talk there yesterday. So we don't even get to that 38 level, which is really, well, we did off the open, but we didn't even look at it. So we just sat there, didn't even try to break it, a little bit of action up the upside, and then just straight to the downside. So AMC right now, just one of those names that we got to wait for, it looks like, here to go, because if we break even lower, like I tried to wait the whole time, then I made bottom tick there. So I don't know. I guess we have to get out again if it comes back down here, but I'm going to use 75 this time as the area, but still not a great trade. Hopefully we can get back to the upside here for AMC.
Oh, Vivek, I'm glad I'll do this one for you. Vivek, you got it. I'm assuming you mean SGOC. If you got it, I'm ecstatic that you get that trade. The interesting thing is, like, if you do one thing well, you have like an A+ setup. I say time and time again, I should have hit the face slap, but like make sure that's what you're capturing every single time. And if you got that one, I'm happy that you did. Stick to what you're best at, absolutely. It is normal for me to trade 5 or 6 symbols at a time. Every now and then, it's going to bite you in the butt. AEHR on the move, by the way. Surprise earnings. It's on our watch list. Big time runner here. This is actually on good news. Brendo?
Another one trying to bounce here. Newegg, guys. Haven't mentioned this for a couple of days, but 4 days actually in a row to the downside here. It just broke back through 30, straight to 32 there for NEGG.
Oh, yeah, blast from the past there, Newegg. Yeah, we haven't traded that in a bit, NEGG. Okay, here we go. So out a little bit there, like I said, at 75 there for AMC, so it does rip. All I have to do is talk about it a little bit there, and it goes upside. So we'll see now if it can retrace. I don't have any offers now for AMC, so we'll see if we get back I don't know. I mean, I still think we should be able to test 38. So let's wait to see if we can get back there on AMC and turn this day around a little bit for us. Square, good. I guess a good out. That was a good out. That was a good out. These breaks of 240 was not good. We tried it. It does go in the money for us a little bit here, like a lot, 241.75. I was expecting for a big break. You know, we've taken $12, $15, $13 winners and so on and so forth on Square. Unfortunately, today's not the day as the NASDAQ keeps coming to the downside, right? And so we tried it, and I'm happy to lose $3 or not even that much. On those trades, yes, but our average price, they're able to get some out. So I think it was about, on average, we were stuck at 239. I think we were stuck. So that's about a $3, $250 hit. $2.50 hit there on Square. So that's not a great one as we go. We did average into Zila there. We talked about that coming back into this level. Our out's still going to be 350. You see my average price is 81. Again, we did put some trades on there, which was a problem from the pre-market. We did have that. SCOCO here. We're still up on it. My net is still positive on SCOCO. But yeah, we looked at that 14. Like when it tested it twice there and then on the way back in, that should have really been the out and or the short, or breaking this level where we got out our first time. That was also a good level to short. So now you're coming back in on SGOC. Remember, let alone pronounce the name properly, then maybe it's not a name that we need to be in. But we did play the momentum. It's still a positive name for us. But again, we talked about getting out once that breaks back down through 12. So we put that money in our pocket. And then AMC just tried to go there, guys. It tried. It made the high there of 36.80. So we'll see if it can get back above. For me, VWAP, I think, is for sure. If we can get there, we'll put an offer. Look, I trade around VWAP, so I said we wouldn't get out of this, but we will put an offer around 37 just for another 10% of our trade. And then we'll see if we can hold that next 60% all the way back. I think we can get to 38. So let's see if we can turn this name back to a nice little positive area today for us on AMC, guys.
And we will do this one. DD, nice little reversal. I'm so glad Brendan came up with this one and mentioned it because I kind of forgot a little bit about it, but I like that setup into that 1230 to 1250 area. We're able to get the first leg in there. It's rolling back into VWAP. I'm going to take some profit out of 15, take some out in front of VWAP particularly. GameStop just broke 168, so it finally gets past that floor. This is the test. I mean, it never got up to VWAP here, so we can get a reload in. If it can get down to 165, 166 on this move, I'm covering. If it cannot sustain this move, I don't want this thing breaking back above, like a 169.50 area or something like that. That's kind of crazy. I want to find a spot to get out. If it does reverse in front of my order, I want to find a spot to get out between 66 and 68. So the short, I finally got into it, and it's working out on the GameStop. It's just maybe a little bit too late. Someone asked about Zila. A few people have said about Zila here. Execution's low first, and the chart comes in. We bought on this dip here at 70. In the pre-market, we were able to scalp some at 85. We bought 60s, scalp some in the 75, right? And then at $4, we thought there could be some chop. Get back in VWAP, get back in on the 60 area. Now I want to be seeing if I can get some of that 75 in that 85 range and then out in front of that 4 even. I'd love to see it test that 440 before I think about a short, but it's running out of time to do that. And maybe I was wrong, Sam. I think it was Sam that was mentioning, or may have been Steve in the chat. Why are you not short in Zila? I thought it would be like a 440 level. For now, it's finding resistance at the bottom end of that range, that 4 instead of the 440. I want that to change because obviously I'm long. That goes without saying.
Yeah, I'm long Zila as well. And then obviously AMC does fail, so that was a good out. Not obviously, but we talked about that. I was having some problems here big time getting going today. So there's another out there or not another one, but we did talk about that. Doesn't look like it wants to go. Do I even have a stop order in? If I did, I think it was about 35.50 or so. Just going to give this, no, we do not. No, we do not have a stop order in. Okay. So yeah, we got to watch out for some of these trades now. I was going to probably use this area right here. Yeah, 30, 35, 40 or so to get out on AMC. It's been a negative trading day for me today. So that's the first time I've said that all July. So we'll wait. Again, Fridays generally not great trading, but not bad. So I have no preference on the days, really, guys. It's just a matter of trades not working out on days. And we did talk about it. The funny thing is that when the NASDAQ was up 0.3 or 0.4, I said, we're going to be in trouble here when this thing turns red. And then that would be a negative day for sure. So we should have started to look short. NEO's in a free fall. I did see someone mention that, and you're right. It is free falling, but what's not free falling is Newegg here. Wow. The volume gets going. Like, I don't know how to predict these things. Apparently we're supposed to do videos on how to predict when these things are going to happen. But yesterday, big volume there, and then nothing. And then today we're getting big volume again. So to me, I almost want to look short on Newegg, but I've seen what can happen to this name if you do short it. Try $80 about a week ago. So maybe shorting Newegg, not a great plan, and we're trying to still catch falling swords here on AMC, but this sword is falling a little too deep here, down to 35 and change now. Wow, the saga continues for AMC. What's up, Brendo?
Another one looking like a bit of a falling sword today. Tesla, guys, just saw this headline. Bank of America raising their price target once again to 750, this time from 700. But yeah, straight downside as well for Tesla today, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just basically just like one win, one loss. Like I make on AMC, sorry, lose on AMC, make on GameStop. You know, DD was good, and then TKT was good at the open. Then I just lost when that one took out the bottom. So hopefully Zala works out. I see you guys talking about MRIN, and it's not that I'm not ignoring it. Believe me, it's just I'm looking at it here, and everyone's saying like 9.9 key area. I look at like 8.25, 8.30. This is on the 15-minute chart. I'm like, that would be a good bounce. I get it. This would be like a $10 range. I want to zoom in just if I can quickly here. I'd be much more interested if it retook yesterday's low. So if it doesn't get to like that lower level that we were just talking about there, like I'd look at like a 965 for a retracement long on something like an MRIN instead of catching the falling sword. It tried to do it once, couldn't get past that level. And remember, and I wasn't watching this when it happened. I just pulled back and showed you that 960 level. This was a big flush when it broke down and tried to retest it. Got to get above there for me to like the MRIN long. If it does, I think that's a good retrace. I know 9's been a good level. I'd rather see it. Sometimes you want to buy it up instead of just play in front of that even level. I reserve the right to change my mind. If it was like 1 million shares on the bid at 9, then you'll probably see me long at 901 or 902.
Okay, yeah, we're still waiting for some of these stocks to start to go here. Let's take a quick look at NIO. And we got out of the way of this one quickly, guys. You know, in and out, in there, down and out there. So a profitable trading on NIO. Actually, no, we're red on NIO, but definitely, I just said profitable trading there. It's not, but you know, it was good to get out of some of the way here for NIO. And let's look at it quickly, a 20-minute chart here on this. There's no new news, I don't believe, anyways. I mean, Brendan can check it out, but down 2% is kind of just like a ho-hum move for NIO. So, but we are right down at these levels here, 42.60, 42.70. What was that very bottom? 42.40. We just made it right now. Let's go long if the market can break it back upside right here, 42.65. We'll take a long and see if we can hold this back down to 42.40. So I don't know, man. The NASDAQ's red, so it's not something that I would love to do, take NIO long, but that's a big base there, and we just saw it. But I don't know. Maybe this 20 minutes not big enough. Hold on a second. Yeah. So wow. Okay. So we're way back down now. Back down to the 8th. Where the low was right here again, 42.75. So we are breaking lower and lower right now. If this market doesn't hold, this is going to be a problem. So I'm just wondering about going short NIO. Maybe we'll do that instead. Normally I'm only looking long on this name because we've seen how it can run, but maybe the short is the right play here. 42.72, 42.80 if we hold it all the way back. But I just don't know where to give this to if I do go short because we've seen it just blow up here. So we're going to go short on NIO. I just got to find the right spot.
So I'm going to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight because Newegg is Newegg is getting to this level. This 35.80, the rollover price, you've seen it before, spiked and failed here before. You're at 35 right now. Sometimes I'm waiting for a halt for this type of a setup. Other times I'm just looking at an obvious level in the chart and I'm just saying to myself, I'm going to go in front of it. So I just stepped in at 34.88 in front of that 35. I might take 2 shots at this if I really, really hated it right now, if the bid was too strong. For now, it isn't. It got 30 cents in the money or so. I think 35.80, 36 would be that second test. Obviously, I would like the first one to work out for me here, but look, at some point, Newegg was going to get into this one. Too big of a level there at that 35.80. Not try to take that 35 turn, so we'll power one up here. Just got 88 down into 34, even for a quick 80-cent winner. I look at this cluster down here, 32 to 33. I actually, you know what? This actually could bounce, given how strong it's been. It actually might bounce at the top end of that range, so it might not be more than $1.50 for me on this trade at absolute best. On the rest of it, this is one I would get back into if it were to consolidate lower or test 35.80. Like I wouldn't actually get out at the break at the high of the day here because I've already taken some out. I'd be looking at that 35.80 to that 36 level to cover or to get back in on a short trade. And if it flushes at that point, I'd target a little bit lower because testing the higher level, the better level, the bigger level, if that actually starts to work, you'd want to hold on. I'd want to hold on to it a little bit longer than just this 33, 20-ish area here.
Okay, so we're bouncing back huge here on AMC. So good little buy down there at 36.20. We just took some out at the 45 level there. So now we'll see if we can get it back. I mean, we're long rate here at 36.50. So yeah, it's not like it's a big position for us or anything. But hopefully, I mean, it's a good sized position. But hopefully it can come back. There, damn it. Hopefully we stuck above 36.50 there, but doesn't look like that wants to show us any love on the upside there. So yeah, trouble spot there. Trouble spot right now for NIO. I thought I put a bid to get out of this thing. Yeah. If we do break above 42.85, we'll be out of NIO. So that's a new position for us right now as well. So that's looking like that's going to go to the upside now. So we did talk about possibly getting stopped out on this trade, and it looks like we may do that if we do break above that 85 level here for NIO. So we took a short, thinking that, hey, maybe the futures wanted to come to the downside, and of course, now they start going back to the upside for us. So NIO, good position, but maybe not. Wait to see on that one. AMC trying to battle back as well now.
Absolutely, and looks like I might not get the rest of those shares on Newegg because it was testing. It was testing at 35. I was really close to, like, if it bounces above 35, can't get to that 36. I was going to try and get in there above the 35 range. Now we're back at 34. So again, 80 cents, $1 now in the money, and I'm going to hunt for that $1.50 if we can catch that. Zila, while that's calming down, and it looks like maybe I won't get the rest of that Newegg, so it's going to be in the money for us and just hang out there. Zila's starting to get its bounce going. It's a couple of times here tested 36, now headed back to the upside. So I think we're going to get a chance to get some out at 75. It's been good buying the dips in Zila. It's just been tricky otherwise, guys. So the dip buys have been okay. I just want to make sure we're getting the profit out on the way up, because it's one of those days. If you're not taking the profit here, it's been really tricky to navigate. So we want to make sure we're banking the profit that is there available for us to stay positive. Brendan is at the big screen. It's time for the small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, a number of them to talk about today. One of those days, though, where you want to kind of take your trades, I think, if they're working for you, because volume dying off already across the board. It has been, as far as volatility is concerned, a little bit light. Verb, I want to talk about this one because we had 3 days to the upside. Yesterday, we got all the way up here to 4, if you remember, on positive news, but it was setting up kind of as the possible first red day in the pre-market here, just trending to the downside. I was watching 320 and then 350 above that, but as I mentioned, the volume down there, a little bit of a problem, just died off very quickly, not doing anything. We did get below 3 and then down to about 280, 275 before it did find some support. But nice trade for Verb. This Lizzie, we talked about right before the open, same thing. Volume a problem here. Look at this, already disappearing to the downside, but did give you an opportunity. I was just using 670 and then 7, top end of this consolidation from the pre-market. I mentioned in the pre-market, wasn't really doing anything, just kind of going sideways. I said watch 6. It ends up being a little support there, but finally breaks. So probably trends to the downside for the rest of the day. Not much attention though. IO, another one that was very sleepy if you missed this opportunity around 2. That was probably the best trade, all the way down to 165. But again, volume a little bit light today, guys. Back over to you.
He is the GOAT, and he is good luck, because look what happens. I'm telling you, Brendan opens his mouth and good things happen for my positions. Was able to get that reload right there, 34.85 or so on Newegg, and then it absolutely flushes. We get that 34 level. Then we get that 33.20 that we're looking for, that quick little $1.50. So in and out, relatively quick. Love that setup. Went to the higher time frame. You saw that 35.80 level, and then it failed right at 35 even, the even dollar right in front of it. The reason why I pointed out that 35.80 is so that you don't, if you just say 35 even, you're stopped out in this trade when it goes to 35.35. The fact that there was a level above that is the reason I step in instead of just waiting for a halt trade or the actual top. So a good one there. And then I want to give a big shout out and a thanks. And oh my gosh, I'm going to probably forget this. We get so many awesome people in the chat that it's like we'll be chatting back and forth. But I think it was Tim pointing out on TKT after I took the hit, on the re-entry on the long trade, there was a big buyer on TKAT just sitting there at 750. I don't see it now in the Amex, but it was a big buyer that was there in the Amex, and I was able to sort of scalp off of this level. Got 55s, got some 60s, some 64s out there, so able to do a little bit of a scalp trade off of it. I still hold on to some of it and see if it can't bounce upside, but there was a big buyer. I'll see if they're still there at that 750 level if it comes back down, but able to take advantage. Thanks for that look on the chat. Brendo?
Uh-oh, Sean. I predict you might be in for an exciting weekend. I just brought this up, guys, if we could look at this. Look who's number 1.
Yeah.
And Also, look who's number 2.
And look who's number 3. I have Oosthuizen. So, yeah.
So I just want to point out though, Morikawa finished for the day at 9 under.
Yes.
Jordan Spieth and Usti there only through 1 and 2, 7 under. So setting up to be interesting weekend.
I like that, yeah. So the
household.
Katina clan has all 3 of those guys. So we have all 3 of those names. So really happy with that. My wife has Morikawa and Spieth. I have Louis. So hopefully we dominate that pool one more time there for that one. So we'll wait to see where that goes now. But yeah, Neo now making the moves, man. We like this Neo to the downside here. Good one, 10, 11 cents in the money. Look at AMC, man. Someone said knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. But we're knocking on VWAP's door right now as well. So a nice little move upside for AMC down up to 37. We do have a 50-cent winner on this name, but thanks for that open update, man. We definitely like that one. Making more money in pools than I am in the market right now. But AMC to the upside. Good. Let's go.
Absolutely. And look, Newegg continues to fall here. There might be a dip buy at that 32. I'm definitely looking for it here on the off chance that you catch something, but it's now a falling sword a little bit. And I don't know that I mentioned this, but yeah, we talked about if GME came down and couldn't quite get to that 65 and had a bit of a bid that stacked up, I would find my way out of it instead of sitting there and looking a gift horse in the mouth, which we're not supposed to do. I haven't said it as many times as I did yesterday. Yesterday must have been a record for it. But anyways, we do get it out at 67, 13.
Yeah,
I know we're
I think
close
you're
to
only
that
4
today.
today, which is not bad.
I have to step my game up. We gotta get
more gift horses here.
Got to get on the gift horse train, but we're able to get that 67 out. So it was late to the party. I wanted short on GameStop today. I never got it off that 75 or the rollover. I didn't get that first pop up because I was trying to get 172.50s area. We did get it off VWAP here. The last out will be like a nice little $3.50 winner. Trying to make up for it. AMC wasn't that good for me to the long side, obviously, but the short worked out on GameStop, and that was sort of part of the plan there, guys. So take advantage where you can. I still hold this IO, although I just took some more shares out. Well, not just took. I did take some more shares out at this price. It's back at that 168, 167. Current low of the day. 150 is where this thing closed. My last bid will be in front of that 100% because when it retraces all the way on something like on an IO, well, so I want to go to neg there. When it retraces all the way on something like an IO, I always want to take the last those shares out safely in the money pretty much all morning long. Newegg does bounce off VWAP there, but I don't know, you got to be pretty quick, and maybe you're taking $1 on that trade. Given that the stock has a $9 range in the day, I don't know that was that good of a setup there, but the short certainly solid. If this breaks out high of the day, I'd let it break 35.80, which was that level that we had on the 15-minute and the daily chart. So maybe even like a 36 long as opposed to trying to take the breakout at that high as it sits currently.
Okay, here we go. The AMC Apes are back in the building. Thank God for this trade, guys. Big move up for AMC. We talked about this one going to the upside right now, and here it goes now. So we'll wait to see. We just took some out, though. I mean, we're not going to look the gift horse in the face or the mouth, whatever you want to do with that one. You're the mouth, right? Maybe I'll say the face, the hoof. We'll look at the gift horse in the back end maybe there for me today. 37.30 right there. We did take a bit out, so there it goes to the upside. We talked about it getting back to 38. Like, that's a good little dollar move backside there off my last in. Obviously, these are the average prices here, so we only took one spot. I mean, that was bad. We talked about that trade. That was our finish them off from there. But now in again, and then bang it right there. A nice win to the upside. Thank God that started to move for us because that could have been a big problem, even more so than we thought if that didn't happen. So we clear some out. And then when we said knock, knock, knocking on VWAP's door there on the chat, we weren't kidding. When that happened, we got a lot out at 37 as well. So nice move to the backside there. There it is. Yeah, ADA. What was up with that? LO, you like ADA 117. Why? Did it go down to 117 today? Yeah, it did. It went down to 117. Now it's back to 121. So a good little bounce back there for ADA. Remember, if you're buying, like this is, I just gotta say this over and over again because I like crypto and I like Cardano and all these things. I've been lightening up. I mean, I've been saying that. Hopefully you know that. And I just will wait to see the fall for crypto for me. So we're gonna wait to see where that goes from now. And I do want to buy dips back down to $1, not $1.17. AMC continues to move, so we'll see where that's going. NEO, we did take some profits there, but now we're going to retest 43 here on a bounce back on these futures. Maybe we'll have to go over to Palantir and buy some of these bottoms as well, guys.
So I put in the chat and I spelled it wrong, but whoever was saying $9 in chat, which I guess was a lot of people on MRIN, yeah, you guys win the day. I mean, I was sitting there saying, okay, I wanted to test lower than that and maybe bounce off like an 860. That was a breakthrough at 960. I went to the 15, said, yeah, I like it a little bit lower for support, catching that falling sword. And it just bounced off this to a T. I mean, that's like almost perfect. I still like the 960 break, so I'll go with it if it happens. But that was a good one off 9. Just let me know. I didn't. If it was a big level there, was a big buyer, I'd love to be able to see it. I don't see anything on my level too, but great call. I mean, 9 ended up being a good level. I still like that 965, so I'm still going to go long if it breaks, or 960. I'm still going to go long if it breaks out at 60. Lots of room to run back up into VWAP, and the fact that it held 9 even makes it just that much better. Brendan?
One name, guys, we've talked about in the past is a possible reopening type idea. Goldman agreeing finally. Live Nation, I did note that volume is a bit skeptical on this today, but $80 down here, big time level for Live Nation. Goldman coming out today, initiating with a buy on that one. Still positive though on the day.
Yeah, I wonder if that's moved a little. Yeah, I mean, good chart there. I wonder if it's moved a little bit too much. But again, it depends what you think always, guys, about where we're going with this, COVID and the variants and things like that. Like, if concerts are back, we're going to be going apparently to a Blue Rodeo concert very soon. My wife's all about them. So if you like Blue Rodeo, say hell yeah there in the chat. For me, I don't really know that much about them other than when she plays that stuff in the car. But here we go, AMC, a nice little one to the backside one more time. 90 cents in the money. So hopefully these horses can kick. And that's not a horse, that's a bull. There he goes. And we'll see about to the upside now, 38 and change. I called, like when we were down here, I called hopefully that we would retrace back to this 38 level because I like the level. But we'll see where it goes from here. Looks like we have a chance to get back to the upside now as it held 37 quite nicely there. So hopefully we get that little rally back upside. Other than that, man, we did buy some more Palantir right now off that move. If we break down below 2120, we'll get out. But Palantir, I like it now for a long, especially if the NASDAQ can retrace. But right now, it doesn't look super on that retracement, guys.
And I kind of, well, I'm not saying I forgot about GLG. That's probably the best way to put it. So yeah, it's reversed. Talked about 150 being a bit of a level. It never quite got there. Consolidated lower. That's usually a pretty solid setup off the high of the day, but I didn't get it. And it's been a good runner for anyone that has it. The volume starting to taper off a little bit, and the first pullback was to the pre-market high at 113. If it breaks that, you could be thinking about, well, it could be a bear trap, but I'd be thinking at least about the short for the rest of the day. That'd be the side I'm on. I have not been watching it, but as AMC just broke back to the upside, 37.40, GameStop. So now I can be happy because the last time, like usually, I should say a lot of times when I'm trading a GameStop or one of these types of names here, and when I don't get that ultimate target profit, like it misses me by like 20 or 30 cents, which in this case it might have, and I don't get out, I'm holding it all the way back into break even, but I like to short into these pops. It just came right back to our original, well, not our original price, the price that we got, that 170.50. It put in highs at 72, and then there's that 175 high. So I am more likely to play off of this 172 level and then definitely off of 175 as AMC comes up, I think dragging GameStop with it, but who knows. I want to be on the fade side of the GameStop, and I'll look for re-entry off that 172.
Okay, so we just got filled on something pretty nicely there. Oh, Palantir, yes, sir. I was wondering, like, how is this net just ripping upside? Yes! Bang for Palantir right now as it just keeps on going to the upside. Good bid there we put out. So Palantir, yes, cashing in right now. So we're happy for that trade. That's going to be a big one for us. Up to 50 now off that reload. I mean, we've got to take some out. We'll take some more out at 48 there. Yeah, right at VWAP. So bang, look at this one. So long, like in here, right? Long on that retrace and out. Long again on Palantir and out. Long again there and out at VWAP again. So, so far so good here on Palantir. Maybe we'll take out one more piece. We're quite long on this name, so hopefully it can go for us. There goes AMC. Let's go. What did we call, apes? What did we call? We called 38, man. We back from the dead now. Let's go, Brendan.
Another little one to look at here, guys. SXTC, Chinese pharmaceutical company, just popping up. More of a volume story. 22 million shares on this today. Definitely relatively high if you can see the daily chart. 40% though for SXTC. It's 10:30. That means there's 1 hour left in the entire week of trading over in Europe. Miss V is watching what's going on over there. What's up, V?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are negative. Earnings season is in focus. Ericsson trading in Sweden is down more than 9% after it reported second quarter earnings, core earnings below market expectations. Back to you.
Somebody just sent me a yawning sloth, comparing it to the market today. It's Friday, guys.
I think it depends on what you're trading. I mean,
I was gonna
for
say,
me,
like,
really, you know, Square was a problem, but AMC, I mean, this is not a yawn by any stretch of the imagination problem, but AMC, I mean, this is not a yawn by any stretch of the imagination. AMC basically does exactly what we thought it would. We had a bad out. We literally have the bottom there. If we don't have this out, man, this is like a monster stock and probably my best stock and my best trade all week. So AMC, wow, AMC yesterday was, actually the last two trades of the day were mine and they were huge on AMC. Could have been again if I just didn't have that out, but we do. So trying to be disciplined there on that 36 break, but damn it, wish we didn't have that. As AMC, we just took some out at 38. So there it is, man. We called that level down here. We put on our biggest trade rate there. We told you about that on the retrace back up. Both of these, man, in there and in there, like it's called a revenge trading. So there it is, revenge up to the upside right there. Don't recommend doing it, hey, but when it works, it works. Good trade for me on AMC. Huge.
That's
trade.
what I'm talking about. Look, I mean, you do what works for you. That's what's going to be true. Two things here. One, GameStop 172. Already took a buck on that one. I didn't want it back at 170.50. I said as it came back to the upside, I will test 72 and then test that 175. We get the first one. That'll be a nice win. But VWAP trader, what would you tell he's asking, what would you tell a trader on the floor who's being a piker? Maybe this is going to be embarrassing for me, but what's a piker? I actually don't know how to answer that question because I'm not sure what a piker is. I would love to answer it. Sean and I have managed floors and talked to lots of traders, so I'm sure I have an answer for you. I'm just not sure what that even means. So please clarify, VWAP trader.
It sounds like that would be a negative thing.
A piker? I'm sure it's a...
Yeah. I don't know.
I've heard Gooner
unless
before.
Unless I'm fishing, I'm not too worried about pikes. That's for sure. But I'm going to message the wife about that Morikawa, but hopefully she can see that. My kids are at swimming lessons, so good on them. We like that. My kids are very, very active. Follow on Twitter and Instagram to see more of the personal side of life, if you're interested. Anyways, that's what Instagram's for. But okay, AMC, wow, good retracement, man. I mean, I'm not going to get out of anything now. We're going to hold this as far as we can. This is $2 now in the money and still going upside. I mean, I think we can even, there it is. I mean, this is what we were waiting for finally. I just wish this out sucks. But AMC now, good, go, let's go. Abe's back into control on this name, that's for damn sure. And then we got a nice little 40-cent win now. As we danced a little bit here with Neo, but then we did take a 43 break to the upside. It takes out VWAP, we get out. Now we'll see if Neo can retrace all the way to the backside. Remember I told you when I was short here, that's why we covered there, because we were pretty nervous. I mean, we still lost a little bit on this short, but we were nervous. That's why we covered. I hate shorting Neo, especially, you know, when the market was thinking about bottoms, but we still are down that 0.17. So I'm debating getting some out. If we break back down below VWAP, we'll get out now. 43.22. We've seen how nasty this name can get on the downside, guys. Palantir, though, nice, beautiful trade to the upside. We'll see if we can get back into the 60s on this one, guys. A big win for me on this name.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. I just got out of the rest of it. Like I put in, I get target. I put in a break-even stop thing. Okay, we'll set this one go. We'll get out of VWAP. It's gonna be good. It breaks that, and now maybe it's gonna head back into the upside, or back to the downside. But I want to make sure we take the profit. The momentum was with it the way up. The way down, I'm more likely to scalp that trade out. You guys have answered. Yeah, a piker in trading is someone who constantly trades small. So if someone doesn't scale up, usually the best thing that you can do for scaling is to actually track your results. And then if you notice, look, if you notice that you're actually, well, once people see that you have consistent profits, I always say it's like start scaling 5-10% at a time, and then scale at a level that you can maintain. So you never want to scale up, and then if you happen to have a bad day, let's say you only win 60% of the time, if your first day is bad, you go back to the other level. But if you scale small first, go 10% up, maybe 20%, something like that, it's easy to sustain that level. One of the things that I would do a lot of times is if I knew I wanted a particular symbol or whatever, I wanted to trade a large size, and I wouldn't just write a note down, I would change my default, and this works for our platform, I would change my default to that larger level, so when I logged in the next day, and I would look at it, and it actually displays, and you go to type first order, I would say, oh yeah, that's right, I wanted to trade this share size on that stock. So that's a couple of things I would talk about. The first and most important one is if you're not actually tracking your results on all your individual strategies, that's what you should be doing. It's the best way to enforce, and then scaling a small amount first is a lot more sustainable, because a lot of guys, they scale it double, or they scale 50% up when they make a level bump, and if they happen to take a hit the first or second day, you go right back to that other level, which is just not a good way to advance. I mean, the best way to do it is to try to do it gradually, more sustainable, easier psychologically to pull off.
Yep, exactly. So always, I mean, review your trades. I think that's the best way to become confident because, like, you know, as the success comes in, you can start to ramp up your shares. You don't want to do it too early because that's like the death wish. Because traders will get very, very disappointed if they start losing, right? They give up on it. So you got to stick with it, and it takes years and years of practice. I was able to be positive in my first month, pure fluke, I think. So that's very hard to do. But we're trading on a prop floor, so it's a lot different. And I don't know if that question was coming from a Day Trade the World office or not, but Piker Gang, I like that, Anthony, there. That's a good one. Piker Gang. Maybe we'll have to use that more and more and more there. So good one, guys. Let's keep going. Okay, that's that. AMC looking like it wants to fade out now a little bit. That's why we take that 37.90. It's a relatively small spot now because we got the goal that we wanted to the upside there. So we are going to hold out for the moon, as they say. So we'll see if that can come through here sooner rather than later. And by the moon, I think the most we could probably get to today on AMC would be something like a 40. You know, we've been up. I mean, we can always get higher, but 39 back here on July 14th. We stuck on that and had a problem. And then look at these levels right here. I mean, this is a key right here. 37.50 top on the 14th, a top on the 15th. And then today, that's just yesterday. And then now today, we're looking at a very, very similar top to this right now. So we'll see if we can get above this 38.50. Obviously, that has to happen before we even get higher than that. Just to check back, like I'm holding this Zila, hoping. Never good when you use that word all the time, but hoping to get back upside here on Zila. Doesn't look like it wants to, man. It come up to that's 370. This would have been basically flat for us. We're long at 381, but if it does break back down below this 353, then we're going to get out of Zila. Just thinking that there was an opportunity for it to go, but it doesn't look like it now. Thing about it, there's options eligible, so I guess if they wanted to start buying some calls, we can look out for that. But right now, Zila, okay, here it goes up a couple pennies right now. So if we can get back into the 80s, we'll take a little piece off, especially if that VWAP is staring us in the face.
Yeah, and it can't break 350. So I mean, as long as it doesn't break 350, I can't think of a reason to be out of it. Maybe it's going to be like a power hour type of move. I will say this, I put it in the chat, but I'll just put it out right now. This IO, this is a very random level, and if anyone's watching the stock, which I am, 166, 167, there's like no bid there, and it just cannot break it. So if it breaks 165, I'll definitely get out, but I'm going to take profit. If it holds this level and breaks the upside, I might just cover in the 170s because you've definitely got a bit of a level here, and I guess not out of a hidden buyer, a lot of deep prints going off. Those are dark pools in that price range. It's not like there's a big bid at 66 or 67. It just can't seem to break whatever is there. Brendan is at the big screen. It is time for our Sector Watch.
Hey guys, yeah, we went green to red early on this morning, back to the downside once again. 0.23% now for the S&P 500. You can see front and center, the materials sector here, the entire group, basically in negative territory, a couple of positive, but LYB, CF, FCX, Mosaic here, Dow, pick one, 2.5 to kind of 4% to the downside. I want to mention energy stocks as well, also among the leaders to the downside today. Again, 2 or 3 days in a row. For this group, looking very weak once again. Marathon, MRO, VLO, BKR, all about 3%, 2.5 to 3% for energy stocks right across the board. Financials also to the downside today. There's that STT we talked about, the only one really standing out. 3.3% after earnings were better than expected. 1.4 right beside it here for Goldman Sachs to the downside. Schwab is here. All of the individual banks basically in negative territory. Consumer discretionary stocks also notably weak outside of, yep, there it is, Starbucks, Valeria, back to the upside, 1% for Starbucks today. Tech stocks also showing some strength outside of chip makers, NVIDIA, Micron, AMAT, all 1.2 to 1.5% in negative territory. So 0.27 for the market, guys. Back over to you.
Just noticed Clover getting off its butt here a little bit. Well, I mean, the volume's only okay, but it's starting to get going. And every now and then I see this stock and it just grinds to the downside. It has an afternoon move in it, so I'm going to file that one away. I mean, let's file it away. It's like 3 cents away from 835, but you want to see if it can break back above that 835 level. I'd love to see it do it on more volume. That's probably going to be the bigger indicator here. It's too late to actually get into it, but you got to have some ideas for not just the afternoon, but for power hour. And speaking of which, Yeah, I know it's a lazy segue. I do it this time every single time. We're back at 315. There's going to be some GameStop and some AMC that'll be talked about, but there's also movers across the board. I don't know if we'll still be in Zila, but that's certainly a possibility, I do think. You've got to watch out for these breakouts that can happen at lunchtime. We'll be all over them at the close, as we always do, rounding out what has been an awesome week for sure. So don't get too far away. I know we're done in 20 minutes for this show. We're right back at 315. It is going to be a fun one, almost certainly. And I always say it is what it is, but that new egg, I got out too early. It's continuing to that downside, although it's retesting VWAP here, so I guess it probably was worth a hold. That setup for me is usually right back into either into VWAP at best, or right back into that first cluster, which is what I said. I think it might turn, and I was wrong about this. I thought it might turn at the top end of that cluster there, because Newegg was one of these that was making a secondary move, and I'm like, well, given how far it pulled, it might have a secondary push in it that would be a little bit deeper into one of these levels here, that 38, 35, 80, 36, which I thought could break out. That hasn't happened. Looks like it's turning weak a little bit early today.
Yeah, Newegg on the move for sure today. Good trading there on those shorts for Newegg, but we're just waiting here to see. AMC did make a move there right to that high. You know, like if I wasn't a little bit, again, it's not about revenge trading or anything. I just think that this has a chance to go even higher than that, but that would have been a good out there for sure. So definitely have a look there if you are still interested in trading AMC, because, well, I mean, we're all interested in it, but that high there just got put in. So you know, that's a good level there over and over again on AMC. We keep talking about past days highs and then past days lows, including yesterday's closing price held right there. So that's why we got out, thinking that it wouldn't. But look at that retracement all the way back down now. We're holding a small spot. We're only holding 10% of what we have left off these bottoms, but these were bigger trades for me. So good move back, man. Thank God that did wind up happening for AMC, because if that kept going down, man, this would have been a disastrous day. Okay, so AMC's a nice one in the money for sure. We just talked about that. Now let's look at Palantir, as that's starting to go back to the upside right now. Palantir looking like it wants to go 21.60. I don't even know where I have the offers. This is a 25-cent win on this name. One of my favorites to trade. You guys know that. We load up every time it dips down. And the NASDAQ, if it can go, then yeah, I think Palantir tests this 21.75 for sure one more time. So we're going to hold out for this one. Palantir, big win as we get ready to end the day. And then our Zila, oh, back to 71. Okay. Maybe I'll get out a little bit now on Zila, but I'm still holding out for this break. VWAP now at 75. So not a bad retracement back. It's still a 10-cent hit, but we held out for it. Maybe we'll hold it a little bit longer as Zila back into the, into the play here for us. It's starting to wake up a bit. Still volume not huge, though. Would like to see that a little greater.
And I missed, oh my gosh, I missed GameStop again. It's just, I don't know, I can't seem to catch it off this 170, well, you didn't get to 175. Off this 175 area, that's a pre-market high. It just got to 173.85. So if it had actually broken 74, I think that's would have, I wouldn't have missed the trade if it had broken 74. But catching this one has been a little bit tricky. I did it pretty successfully on the way down, at least I'd say. The second time it tested VWAP there. On the way up, I played the 72 level. Now you're really looking at that 175. If it breaks out, which at this point seems like a distinct possibility, look at this 175, maybe like call it the 35 to 50 area for the long. I probably wouldn't take a 75 break. I'd probably look at it like 50 pennies higher than that just to make sure it's going through. Not a heck of a lot till you get to 180 there. And yeah, it's a pretty strong couple of day move there. Off a big flush, if it breaks out off of this, you could have a runner in GameStop. I think AMC is probably gonna end up doing the same thing if that's the case. Nick W, CTK, I'll quickly look that one up, but I have not been in CTK, but I want to check that one out for you guys. So I'm going to add it to my board and get right back to you on that one. We like to answer the super chats, but I have not looked at it at any point today.
Okay, I took another piece out there. I just looked at it on Palantir. I don't know what this NASDAQ's going to do, so let's put a little bit of this profit in our pocket now. We don't have to wait forever for this move. So it's just been a good one. We take that profit right now. Someone asked, is NEO about to go for a run? I mean, I don't know. It would be nice if it did, but we are flat now on NEO. We did get out on that VWAP break. We are looking at some of these key levels. There's lots of them everywhere on all the names these days. So the market's been moving quite a bit over the last little while, so it shouldn't be too hard to find key levels and whatnot. Look at that Zila, though. We just talked about it, man. I didn't get any out. It should have. We talked about that at 72, 73. Damn it. That would have been a good spot for sure to look there on Zila. So right now, missed opportunity on that one. I bet you this does break through 350. I mean, I'm betting with my mouth and not with my money because I'm still long. If I really think it's going to break, I should get out. But for me, it's well worth the hold here. It's not looking like it wants to go. So if you have the same thought as that, just be very, very careful here. I don't think if it breaks 350, I think there's a lot of traders like us looking at that level. So just look out below. If we do wind up breaking that, there could be an issue to the downside, maybe even a retracement back here to 325. So just be very, very careful with your Zila if you don't have a 350 out.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't know how you can let that one go. QTech is the CTK. So when the daily chart looks like this, which isn't good, let's be honest about it. What I'll say nicely, breaking back above the 50 period, okay, that's one thing that's going to be good for it here. Doing no volume, that's not that great, but at least, I don't know why 15-minute chart hates me, but it does. The last couple of days you've had increasing volume for 2 days in a row now. So if it can sustain that, I'd like to say hold at least 185, I guess. Maybe there's something here. I mean, in terms of like predicting things that can run, I'd love to be able to check it. There's no news on it. Maybe it's got like a short interest. And if it does have a big enough short interest, what I would say would be if you get the increasing volume that can sustain for a couple more days, hold above this 185, you might start to get like that kind of squeeze action type of play with a name like this. But that's about the best I can do with QTech. I just don't know much about it. I mean, the setup in the daily chart looks pretty bad. Like, I think there'd be sellers and bag holders all over the place between 2 and 250, let alone if it ever got to like $3, which would be good. I think if you're looking for that kind of return, yeah, let it hold 185 today. I mean, you don't want this thing dying off in the afternoon in volume and then no volume picks up on Monday and then you're buying it, through the top here. I would let it hold like a 185, maybe close above that price. That would look pretty good.
Great job, pro day trader there. This is what I'm talking about. This is very, very good. I mean, today, I'm trying to limit the symbols as well, but this is a great little ratio there. 10 symbols, 1 red, 9 greens. That's a good one. Thank you. High, high, high. 9, what? Up, high, high, high figures. Okay, not 9 figures. I don't think that's 9 figures, but 9 to 1. So that's a good move there. Messed up on Zila there. I don't know what you're talking about with the, Neil, I don't know what Neil was talking about. Maybe it was Zila there. Yeah, none of these stocks, guys. So the word investment is in there. We're not investing in any of these names that we're trading. These are day trades. Neil and I have to be flat at the end of every single day. So I know that there are a lot of people that do have money put away in Zila or any of these other names. And that's good. I mean, I think you should always be invested in the market. It may be a good time to raise some capital. Right now, I've been talking about doing that myself, both in the crypto space and it's getting close to being time maybe to take out some of these tech names. I'm very, very not concerned, but eager, I guess, is the word to see where the earnings come from with big cap tech over the next couple weeks. But if you look at Softy right now, you look at Apple. I mean, Softy just made an all-time high today before fading out with the NASDAQ there. So if that is a problem, Apple the other day as well at 1/5. Well, we're still all here. So nothing to worry about, but that's why I'm saying I'm very, very eager to see where we go from here with some of these earnings reports coming through next week. So Moderna, wow, 283. What is the day high on that name today? 288. So that's really holding up real nice. Honestly, I think Moderna is a short from here just because of the adding to the S&P 500. Probably getting a little bit of a false move today, but up 10%. Congratulations, guys. This has been a big win for a lot of people. Money talks, a time that we like, and I like the fact that the USD is getting a little more spicy as well. 126, I believe, Brendan, against the CAD.
Yeah, we had a bit of a bounce in the CAD this morning on that retail sales number in the U.S. I actually put the chart up today. This is the CAD, just so you know. But we have come right back to the downside again. So back to negative territory here once again for the Canadian dollar. You can see holding under 80 cents, but just highlighted some key levels here for the dollar CAD. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. But back to the downside, yeah, U.S. dollar definitely back to the upside in a big way if that one is falling. The euro, same story, 0.1 to the downside. British pound negative also 0.4. Japanese yen, Swiss franc, both in positive territory. Australia and New Zealand going the opposite directions today, and pretty quiet as well, guys, on the crypto front to end the week. Back over to you.
Yeah. I've been trying to look at ETHE and trying to talk a little bit about crypto, but really today it's been a negative day for me on ETHE as it's not really doing too much. But other than, a new name here. Have we mentioned this today? AEHR? What is this?
Didn't trade it, but we did mention it. It was on the watch list, and I think a couple of times.
Well,
we
right,
talked
right,
about it.
that's why.
Yeah, but just never found my way into it. It's back up towards the highs, though. That's at least.
Yeah, and I'm also noticing as well, Zila, like I'm positive on it. Like all of a sudden now I'm positive on this stock as it just comes right back to VWAP there. If I got everything out at 75, then we'd be net positive on the stock. We're net positive on the stock, not net positive on this position, as this position is 381 stuck. So we just... Again, it just went to VWAP there and stopped. So I don't know what the heck's going on here, but it doesn't want to go upside. There's that Zila stopping every time, man, we get to VWAP. Like even right here, it came back, battled back, stopped again, back again, stopped, and then we dropped another 10 cents off that. So yeah, this has just been a little bit of a difficult name here to go. So let's wait to see as we go to the upside. 375. Shoot, we missed that. That was a good opportunity to get out there. I should have. I don't know why. I was looking, I was like, oh, here we go. I get a chance to take this money out and be back on positive here. But right now, Zila, damn it, 375 looking pretty good. I'm going to park an order this next time in and around there just to take some out, just so we can have, look, I still want to have some on board for when we break 4, but that's too many times there at that VWAP. It's going to bother me a little bit.
Yeah, and Vivek is just asking in the chat there, was AEHR good on that lower high that it's putting in right now? That's 1-to-1 to VWAP, so like 350. So I kind of would say it's a little bit better if there is a bit of an offer at 70, so it feels a little bit better, 70 to 75. Although volume did pick up a little bit on that bounce that we just made. So, I mean, I'm not going to put that trade on. I kind of look at it here, and this was on our watch list, AEHR. They had surprise profit. So anytime I see that, and this is actually not a bad, like this is the other thing too, right? Like this is not a bad, it's really not that bad of a looking chart. And when you start thinking about like, when you're putting those shorts on, it's like, where are the bag holders? Well, I mean, I don't know where you're finding bag holders in this name going back all the way to the beginning of 2020. So yeah, I see where you're going with the setup, and it's not a horrible play. If you find a big offer and you can risk, like 5-10 cents to try and make 10 to 20, fair enough. And maybe it does reverse. It's just, this is not the same setup as some of these other, pop and fade type of plays there. There's no real humongous bag holders unless it's going back into back into February. Most of the levels from before, they're in the money. So, I mean, I'm staying away from it personally. I wish I'd found my way into a long. I think that would have looked pretty good, but I don't have it, and you can't cry over spilt milk, so I'm not going to do that. If you caught 70s or 75s just now, you're in the money, even though I just said I wouldn't do it.
Yo, what up, Ape Nation? As we come back to the downside right now with AMC. Look, man, we tried. We've been long all day. We have the horrible out of the century right there at $35, $36. It's obviously that's not the worst out of the century. It's just that was the very bottom. We take that right into this problem. I should have given it a little bit lower, but we were averaged in. It wasn't a good spot. But then we doubled up our shares right here. Bang, bang, double this position here and then here again on the reloaded. And then we take it all the way to the upside. And I'm really happy with that out right there. I'm not disappointed to not get out there at 38.50, but again, now we've identified that as an area. So we'll see. I don't mind it through a long through 38.50 if we have to do that, but I don't know if we'll have to. I don't know if it's going to get back there. We'll look to reload downside again in this 36.40 area for AMC, so we're coming close to that right now. Only 5 minutes left to go, guys. It's been a great show. We're going to be red for the first time in a hell of a long time right now for the morning show. Hopefully we'll battle back in the afternoon. I know we have a hell of a lot to do here, though, so I don't know how much trading I'll be doing in the afternoon, but AMC right now to the upside. So join us back at 3:15 as we're getting ready to wrap this up. But AMC and Palantir, the only positions, and Zila. Palantir, 20 cents in the money. Look at that out. We told you we took some out at 58 there. That was good. Now we have a 1 spot left, so 10% left on that position, and then still that 10% left on AMC. That's the only ones today, guys.
Yeah, I actually just covered the last that IO. It couldn't break that 165 area. I'm now watching Moxie. Good look, guys, on the chat there. Yeah, back to that 29 level where it faded off yesterday, and they had that monster offer. At least a couple of monster offers that sort of sat there at 29, then again at 28. We'll see if we can make that same play, but that was later on in the session, so that could be a nice one for the power hour. And apparently SGOC is on the move again, so we'll have to add that back on the radar. It just got off the bottom. I need a little bit higher before I would even think about putting in the short, but the harsh reverse, like it's 2 days in a row. I mean, at the open, it broke out and then sort of flushed back to the downside. This could be one for power hour as well after that 10 bottom. I
was just going to quickly say this about SGOC off that good call, good look. It is falling off the bottom, but I mean, this volume is not really anything too special right now, but it is starting to pick up in volume. I just want to say, guys, make sure. Oh, you can't see. Oh, damn it. You got it. How can you? Okay, that's better. Thanks, guys. Damn, I got to fix that. I mean, my charts can't be too much lower than this, can they? Maybe I'll put them up a little bit so you guys can see. But yeah, volume needs to get going. We're not bad on the volume right now, but a little more volume would indicate that this does have a chance. I'm excited to see if it goes through 1150 first. I know we're lower than that now, but you've seen the way this thing can move. So 1150. We're still somehow net positive on this name, even though we did have that 12 break. I just wish I had a tick up here to show you that we were out at 14, but still a positive name. And there goes AMC right back to the upside now through 37. We were waiting for 36.40. I think those are good bids down there.
Absolutely. Only 3 minutes to go. And there is something we do before we get out of here, as always. And it's interesting because we've been around YouTube for a little bit here.
Yep.
And I kind of feel like we're starting to come around. I remember some of these because I absolutely love, I love everything to eat apparently because it always makes me hungry, the National Day. But this is a fantastic one. These are delicious if you never had them. Miss V.
Hey guys, I hope you had a great week. Thank you for spending it in our company. Before you leave, guys, please give us a little bit more likes. Your support is very important to us as you're our main motivation and inspiration. Have a wonderful weekend. We will see you today at the afternoon. And happy National Corn Fritters Day, everyone. I'm not so excited as Neil, to be honest.
Gotta try them.
Looks
You gotta try them. They're really good.
Yeah, I'm loving corn fritters.
Yeah,
We actually,
really good.
we have so many zucchini. Neil and myself are actually going to hang out with high school friends tonight. So I'll be.
Won't be corn fritters though.
Neil's a commuter, so we're going to take my whip over to my place. I'm going to show him the zucchini garden. We had crazy zucchini fritters. Always good as well. Zucchini bread, very, very tasty.
Delicious.
Yeah, so we're all over that. It's a great season to start
really good
baking
if you
up
never had
some profits.
All right, looks
there
bad.
it is. You asked Valeria, there it is. You get that moonwalk, so thank you for that. I don't know, we already did what National Day was. I guess there's not too many earnings, Valeria?
No.
No, because it's Monday. So Monday, Friday, we don't have any earnings Friday afternoon. And then Monday morning, we'll see if there are some, but nothing too much of significance. So I hope everybody, if you don't join us back for 3:15, definitely have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. We have a lot going on. So it's going to be really, really fun this weekend. And we just hope to see everybody on Twitter. We'll see everybody back at 3:15 as well.
Yeah, and thank you guys. Oh my goodness, you guys are awesome because of that Moxie, which I wasn't even paying attention to. Yeah, might have missed a reversal at 29. I didn't see any big size on the offer, but once again, and Moxie yesterday, the two trades for those $2 moves came from the viewers. It was like I wasn't even watching Moxie. People pointed out, hey, it's on the move. Saw that, was able to catch it and look another retracement from that same price level. That's another reason it's the best community out there. We can't say that enough for you guys. But the entire team, it's been a fun one. I don't know why Rob is in shades right now, but for whatever reason, Rob and our production crew. That's a nice shirt, by the way, Rob. But I mean, I don't know why he's in shades indoors because he's trying to be cool.
Trades
but I
in
will
shades.
point this out. If you notice Ms. V's shirt, the artist that she was telling us about this earlier. The artist that makes those is absolutely fantastic. He does like Banksy type art. I don't know. Maybe we'll drop it in the chat. Like drop the name because I thought it was hell of a cool and it's an awesome looking shirt. So. Good luck, Ms. V. I don't know about the shades, Rob, whatever. You guys can comment how you like. I think it's ridiculous to wear shades indoors.
It's always sunny in Rob's world.
Remember that one day we had trades with shades? I got to say, what's up to Jam.
Yeah, but that's cool because it was a thing.
What are you doing here? Is this The Rock over here? I didn't even notice your face right there. Neil in The Rock. Is that one eyebrow up? I can't even do that, but there's the trade with shades. And there's yesterday at the Bentway as well. That was fantastic. But I'm realizing that we did like a filter here to make this look a little bit bigger. My kid's face looks like it's coming off her body there. So anyways, trades with shades there. Rob looking much more handsome than I do. So congratulations to Rob on that one. And no, he is not single. I always say that, but just gotta remind you because every time you see that, the lady's probably going nuts there, Rob.
They love it. Like,
Yeah.
oddly enough, you might not know this shot, but that shot, like the picture of the Beltway there, it looks an awful lot like in The Wire when Frank Sabaka met his end. So anyone that's a fan of The Wire, it looks just like that. That's the first thing that popped in my mind. It's been a fun one,
So
guys.
strange, it's the first thing that popped into my mind too.
I know it's not. I'm the Wire fan around here. The greatest show in the history of television is The Wire. That's me. Down the line, for Ms. V, for Brendan Wickens, myself, Neil Roberts, and Sean Katina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we will see you at the close.
Bye, guys.
Bye.